Welcome to Sports and Stogies. Now, introducing your hosts, Cameron Winkowitz and Austin Hayes.
I've already got a new bone to pick with the NFL.
What's that?
I'm sure we've all been thinking it already, but one game into the Kelce Swift love affair, and she's getting more screen time than any player not named Mahomes and Kelce.
Yeah?
And it's only going to get worse.
I've already seen stuff about the Sunday game that she's going to be there too.
Now, I saw a note, I don't know if it was real or not, but on X or whatever, she had notes to cheer when Chiefs score. A touchdown is when they pass the goal line. There's a whole page of notes there.
I believe it.
I don't know if I do or not.
I don't
it is
think
funny.
I do.
I believe that.
But everybody knows the basics of football, right?
Not necessarily.
And by no means am I a T Swift hater. I don't like her music that much. I don't really care about her. I'm kind of
I
indifferent
love the song coming up about Travis Kelce.
when they break up.
Yeah.
You're a system tight end. Andy Reid made you. Mahomes made you.
Yeah.
Go play for Baker Mayfield, see how you do. But no, either way, it's just so much. All their social medias about Taylor and Kelce. I didn't watch the episode, but I know on the latest Kelce Brothers podcast, they talked about her a lot. Which, that makes sense at least.
Yeah.
But on primetime coverage, I don't want Romo and Jim Nance talking about T-Swizzle. Give me some X's and O's here, Tony. Come on.
See, I thought it was really bad when the NBA did the Wemby stuff.
Well, the other thing is, the NFL is bigger than Taylor Swift. They know that, right?
The league is, yeah.
So why... Yes, screen time, sure.
Maybe they can draw in different viewers, but how many Swift fans are going to become actual football fans?
Probably not that many.
They're buying jerseys. Kelce jerseys are at 400%.
For now.
100%.
For now.
But 6 months from now when they burn them all.
Yeah, if they last forever, then yeah, they got some forever fans. But as soon as... If they are even together, which it all points towards they are.
No, they're together.
They're definitely together.
But if they broke up, then it's well, what was the point of catering that much?
They got a lot
I
of
know
views.
Sunday we're just going to see Taylor Swift.
Surely, if even 0.0001% of Swifties are wow, football's actually pretty entertaining, I'll watch. Then I guess it's money well spent on the NFL's part.
Yeah, but the thing, if they break up, Taylor Swift's going to be against football.
Well, that, and the problem is, in reaching out to these new viewers, you're kind of upsetting your legit viewers. Because, again, I don't want to see T-Swizzle 20 minutes of a game.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
The jokes are already old. When the announcers keep making, song title jokes.
Yeah.
It's okay, come on now. 1 or 2's fine, let's move past it. We get it. There's blank space there on the field. How original. Give me some breakdowns of zone coverage here instead.
Yeah, come on. It's football, guys.
Are we just old man yelling at the clouds now?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think we might be.
I don't think so.
Are we out of touch?
I feel like this is very reasonable.
I think it's reasonable, right? But I feel like people that are...
But it's also not just young men that are Swifty. This is specifically a very specific demographic of people who they are trying to cater to that are not football fans.
But will spend money.
They will spend a lot of
Correct. But again, the NFL is still bigger than Taylor Swift.
money. Correct.
So they're going to spend money once and then go to games, sure. It might help the Chiefs a lot more, but they're not going to buy 7 Kelce jerseys. They're going to buy 1.
One each, dude, and she was selling out every arena she went through. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money.
Yes, but you also have to think not every place is going to have Kelce jerseys. Not every place is going to have the same effect from, because he plays for Kansas City. So, yeah, when Kansas City comes to town, it might give you great numbers if the game's not already sold out.
Does T-Swizzle have a slightly older, slightly larger sister that can get with Jason?
Jason's married.
You do it for the PR.
I think Jason's wife would murder for him.
I think Jason's wife...
I
better
believe
PR.
she's 6'2".
Yeah.
She's gigantic.
I think she might kill you for even suggesting
Yeah, I think we might have
Oh,
to
come
cut
on
that.
now.
that. Yeah.
Hey, that could be a joint podcast venture. I'll come on the show, boys.
I'll be his bodyguard.
I'll get my. Can we say ass? Is that appropriate? We're
I
gonna cut
think
that
we
too.
can.
I'll get my ass kicked by Jason Kelsey's wife.
I think Jason Kelsey's wife runs the
Yeah, I
gauntlet
think
on all three of
I'm
us.
trying to remember.
Let's be honest, not a very difficult.
I
gauntlet
saw a
here.
clip, and I think
No.
she said she's like 6 foot herself. So like, and I guess Jason Kelsey is like now the lover boy of the NFL somehow.
The lover boy, of the NFL. What does that
Like
even mean?
his jersey sales are mostly women. Like all of a sudden, the ladies love Jason Kelsey.
Hey, Dad bought his in.
So, well, I think it's just the Kelsey brothers together.
Yeah.
I think that helps a lot.
Yeah.
But I think they like the fun, goofy. Like you have the split, right? So Jason Kelsey's like the sleek and sexy model.
Travis, you mean?
Or yeah, Travis is the sleek and sexy version. He's like your Ferrari, where Jason's like your diesel truck.
Hell yeah. Both successful in different ways.
I think it was both of them talking about it. Do you think Jason Kelsey gets MVP votes with the tush push plays?
No. That's funny, but
It'd be hilarious.
I don't think they're being serious though there.
Do we think that the play gets banned in the next few months?
No. How do you
I
ban it?
do want to circle back to that because Richard Sherman actually made a very good point. But before that, go ahead and pull up that chair.
Pour up that drink.
Light that cigar.
It is time for episode 56 of Sports and Stogies. Cam,
Welcome back, everybody. Hello, YouTube. Once again, because we are on there now. So please go subscribe. That would be great. How we doing, boys?
I'm doing great as always.
Doing pretty good.
How could you not be sitting here smoking, drinking, talking sports, and talking pop culture?
Love to hear it.
Yes, sir.
And for you listeners, and for me and Shane, enjoy Cam while you got him. Because next week,
He's
it's
gone.
the Me and Shane show.
Yes, sir.
You guys ready for that?
I think so.
I'm stoked. I'm going to try to come up with a separate title, like we have one too many,
Yeah.
for just a Me and Shane show. In case you're ever sick at one point and can't get on mic, and me and Shane got to jump back in. We'll workshop it.
I mean, I don't know if it needs a separate title because it's not going to happen a lot.
I mean, maybe me
But
and
it
Shane
could.
kind of branch off and
Maybe we do.
start our own thing here.
Little
yeah, but
pop
then you would have
culture
to
pod.
change the whole title.
Yeah, it would be. It'd be a brand new show,
Yeah.
brand new channel, brand new everything. You never know. Maybe we just explode
It could be like a sub channel.
under the parent company of SnS
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like for it to be an umbrella one day.
in due time. It's only a matter of time.
That's true.
Either way, Shane, where can people find us on social media?
They can find us at Sports and Stogies on Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, Reddit. Am I leaving anything out?
Yeah.
Well, everywhere you watch podcasts. That is Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Google.
Fun fact, Google Podcast is turning into YouTube Music. So if you're a Google Podcast listener, just find us on YouTube. I don't know if YouTube Music is something different.
Same thing as like Spotify, pretty much.
I
We're
was
just going to
gonna-
have podcasts and music both.
So yeah, I know right now we do not have an RSS for that. So something we can look into for sure. But also you could just use YouTube if that works too.
I think the only difference between YouTube Music and YouTube is that you can turn your screen off. I think that's literally it because it works on normal videos too. I was watching MMG today and it was like, get YouTube Music for 2 weeks if you want to shut your screen off.
It's actually a decent feature.
It is.
It is if you're not watching YouTube videos.
Even a lot of podcasts I watch, I don't really actually watch.
Well, I usually just listen on like Spotify
Yeah,
or
so do
that,
I.
yeah.
or the podcast app on Apple.
Either way, go listen to our show on every platform.
Multiple
YouTube was the
times.
one you were missing, by the way.
Oh,
Well, to be fair, you said YouTube first, but
did.
I did.
you
but
should
then
always.
You
when you're,
gave the
when you're
self-promo.
promoing, when you're pimping out, you got to go full bore.
that's true. I will not miss next time.
Better not, because
I won't.
With
It's just
Cameron here to
YouTube.
defend you, it could get ugly.
It could.
I might have to pause the mics here and kind of unleash a little bit. Mano y mano. A little shop promo here, Cam.
I believe I haven't made any shop trips lately. I'm kind of lacking there.
Well, you're a busy guy, this time of year especially.
But I also will have quite a bit of stock coming my way soon. So I've been kind of holding off to see where that's at. But I do need to get to Tip Top because they have the Bricktoberfest mug, beer glass. I don't know what the official name of that glass
I call it
is.
a beer stein.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Beer
Beer
stein.
stein.
So if you guys don't know those smokes, it's J.C. Newman, the Brick Houses. Each year they do a big Bricktober event, so buy 5 of any Brick House cigar, including 2023's Pigtail Bricktober release, which I've not had yet, but I did buy 3 of today at Tip Top and got my Bricktober glass. Also grabbed 4 of their brand new House Blend 2.0s, a Maduro, Habano, Connecticut, and a like a Figurano Maduro.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's got the little ribbons on the ends now.
Okay.
Of
they
each
got,
one.
Okay.
So they're raising the bar there at Tip Top.
Any talks of getting bands made, custom bands at
Maybe
all?
in 3.0.
Yeah. Because their first blend was amazing.
Love them for $5 especially.
Yeah. Is their 2.0 similar
Yeah, I think
price?
I looked check my receipt, but yeah, very cheap, maybe $6.
Yeah.
Either way, definitely sub 10. So
You'll
anything
have to-
close to the 1.0, these are going to be fantastic. I cannot wait.
You'll have to post a review on TikTok or YouTube
YouTube
Shorts.
Shorts.
Maybe that's something we can
That's
do
how
too.
we'll start. Cigar reviews, 1-minute cigar reviews,
Yeah.
especially starting off with the Tip Top House Blend.
Yeah, now that my garage lounge is up and running, I smoked 2 cigars in there with the door open.
Ventilation
and
good?
It doesn't even smell like cigars.
Perfect.
It didn't at all.
Perfect.
So, very nice. I'll have to get a heater for wintertime probably, but it'll be all
We'll
right.
make do.
It'll be all right.
Got jackets.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you guys aren't near Tip Top, you're still in luck. TipTopSmoke.org. You can ship.
Is it .org or .com?
I don't know why I said .org. It's definitely .com. TipTopSmoke.com.
.org is like every commercial ever, that's why.
Exactly. They ship to pretty much everywhere in the United States. They've got an entire selection available. Quick shipping.
Phenomenal selection.
The best customer service you can ask for.
Yep. Great packaging. You don't have to worry about cigars coming in stale.
Humidified, good temperature, and never beaten around or broken.
Nope.
And of course, come here and probably next week, the new Cigar of the Month Club will be out.
Oh, yeah.
Every month, I should say, $30 for 3 random cigars. Value will be at least $30, but so far they've always been over that significantly. Had a Yagua this month, which he doesn't even carry in store.
Nice.
So how he pulled that off.
That'd be something you can do on YouTube, too, is review the cigar of the month.
I'm here for that. Yeah,
Like a little
Just
unboxing
review the
video.
pack.
More
Yeah,
promo
like a
there.
little- Yeah.
that'd be better than doing it on show each week or each month. Then, as always, check out our boys at the Stogie Smoke Stop in Huber, Cigarro Lounge up in Hubbard, B&G's, and Casa Aficionado, which is where I got these sticks we're having today. Had the Luciano event out there on Saturday. All-day thing. Most Saturdays they got.
Luciano's out there a lot. I feel like they have a lot of Luciano events.
They do, and I hope they kind of keep it on the down low because this is a great brand,
Yeah.
great company, and they're really going to explode here soon. So the rep there, Josh, great dude, really get all out their entire production line. Buy 5, get 1 free. I got the Maria Lucia, which was named by Luciano after his mother. It is a 6.5 by 50 box press, which I'm a huge sucker for, of course. Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, 2 different Ecuadorian binders, and then fillers from Nicaragua, Dominican Republic, and Peru. So far, very even burn, little tight draw, but flavor-wise, it's nutty, kind of oaky, and kind of oaty.
Ooh.
So yeah, nice little like a good fall blend here.
Yeah, very nice. I have the Luciano MXS Dominique Wilkins blend. It is a 6.5 by 54. The wrapper is Austin's favorite, the Mexican San Andreas, and the binder is Nicaraguan, and the filler is Dominican and Nicaraguan. So far, phenomenal.
And a pretty cool story behind it. Of course, Dominique Wilkins,
Let me go through my first third. real
NBA
quick.
legend. I'm going to cut you off there, pal.
I was cutting you off, actually. I waited for you to start talking intentionally so I could do that.
Easy bait and switch.
But so far, getting the oak for sure is standing out. And then there's a little bit of spice, but it's not like a peppery spice. I can't really put my finger on it quite yet. I almost want to say like a chili spice.
I'm here for that.
So that's very good. And then a slight dark chocolatey taste in there too. It's very good.
So that's what I always get from that wrapper.
Yeah, very
that dark
intricate.
chocolate.
Very intricate so far. So continue with your.
So
Well,
Luciano.
Shane, what are you smoking on?
Oh, I'm smoking on a Lot 23 by Perdomo. And this it tastes so much different than any other Perdomo I've had. Like, I'm getting a lot of rye, which I've never had in a cigar before.
Well, those are the sun-grown wrappers, so maybe that has a factor.
Could be.
And I know you normally do. I think your Perdomo pack was the Connecticut's.
Yeah, they were all Connecticut's. I think. What is this one?
It's a sun-grown
That's
wrapper.
all it's called? It's not anything. Okay.
I didn't look up the full blend.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think Perdomo is, I believe, almost full Dominican Puros.
Mostly,
I believe.
I like this a lot. It's got like a little bit of heat on it, and then it tastes like I'm just the aftertaste of taking a drink of rye whiskey.
Huh.
It's really good.
Nice. Now about the Dominique Wilkins.
You sure?
Yeah,
Nothing else you want to say?
I'm good.
Everything off your chest? I've got 2 mute buttons here, if need be.
I'm good for now.
Shane, tell us who Dominique Wilkins was, first of all.
The legendary NBA player for the Atlanta Hawks. One of the best dunkers ever. And did he play anywhere else other than the Hawks?
I think he took a couple trips elsewhere, but
like 9-time All-Star.
nothing
Not as a
significant.
Hawk.
9-time All-Star, Hall of Famer, all that good stuff.
Dude could play.
So when Luciano first kind of came on the scene, they were still known as, I think, Ace Cigars or Ace something cigars. But at PCA 2019, their booth area was a half court with a hoop, and Dominique was there, and their, I don't know what's the exact title, but their marketing VP is Tiago Splitter, who
That was
also
the
has
exact
a
face I
line
made.
in the MXS series, as well as Adrian Gonzalez, former Padre, Dodger, Red Sox first baseman. So a lot of retired athletes.
It's a name you forgot you knew, isn't it?
Yeah.
When I read that, I was like, it's got to be a different Tiago Splitter, right?
There's no other Tiago Splitter.
But then, yeah, factoring the Dominique thing, I thought, well, it's got to be the Tiago Splitter. So super cool connection there. This way I was partnered up with, I guess, Dominique, like Jordan, longtime cigar smoker. So got his own blend that was given out by the Luciano rep if you bought 5 from his personal collection. I don't know if they're even out there for sale right now, if you can find them. So enjoy that one while you got it, pal.
Yeah, I saw there's a website called smallbatch.com. A 5-pack was $75, so pretty good
Solid
value.
$15 a stick?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
It's a very good cigar.
And again, I cannot get enough Luciano. I've had almost all their sticks so far. There's one left in the humidor I've not had yet, but the 6 I've had so far have all been brilliant and all pretty cheaply priced. I think below $13-14. And with that, we've got a special gift here from the one and only Mac Daddy Tom. Hooked us up with another Scratch and Sip member, E.H. Taylor Small Batch. My personal favorite from Buffalo Trace.
It's hard to get.
So you know what? In honor of that, Shane, your first time doing the honors.
In a long time, no see.
Blast from the past, back from the dead.
The Gong.
The Gong.
Okay, Shane was not aware of the intricacies of the gong,
No.
especially
he
on mic.
hit it like a drum.
I saw him wind up. I started to pull back immediately.
Yeah.
So
Should we redo that?
I'll maybe
Yeah,
later.
let me get another try.
Let's give the listeners a little break.
Hang it up real quick, dude.
Hopefully, it didn't
Give
blow
him another try.
blow their
Give him
eardrums
another
out
try.
there.
All right, dude. How light do I hit this thing?
Just nice and gentle, a little tap. That'll suffice.
Yeah.
Okay.
On mic, that'll be just fine. Apologies for Shane. He knows not what he does. We didn't warn him beforehand.
Maybe
so,
in the description, we'll put a volume warning at whatever that
The exact
timestamp is.
timestamp.
Yeah, 1904.
Okay.
I'll check it again and we go back through. Either way, E.H. Taylor Small Batch is a 100-proof product from, of course, Buffalo Trace. Rumored to be about 7 years old, and rumored to be mash bill number 1, which is 75% corn, 15% malted barley, and 10% rye. First impressions, gentlemen?
I definitely tasted the rye. Very good, very smooth. Definitely up there with my favorites. It's a little hot.
Yeah, so for me, I really don't get any of these typical bourbon notes, which is why I love it so much.
Yeah.
Not much caramel, not a ton of sweetness or butterscotch or brown sugar. I get much more like a tobacco flavor, much more grain, that rye spice for sure. It's nice and warm. Again, I think a great fall time kind of drink. And maybe we'll give it a shot with an old fashioned here next week.
Probably
Because that
pretty
rye
good.
spice for that would be up my alley at least
Yeah.
for an old fashioned. Shane, impressions?
It's definitely not as sweet as what we've been drinking on. That's for sure. But I don't think my whiskey palate's there yet to actually pick up on anything. It's just hot.
For me, too, almost much more savory, like a kind of a meaty thing going on,
Yeah, I noticed that too.
but nice and well rounded.
Long, lingering finish.
Just right up my alley.
Keeps your mouth watering
The cask strength is even better. I mean, of course,
naturally.
at least for my taste. But have not seen one here in Ohio, so thanks again to Mac Daddy for the hookup. And then 2 weeks from now, because of course Cal will be gone next week, another very special bottle, which we'll tease a little bit in the upcoming week.
There you go.
Now with that, we have one fan question today. Shane will know both these references here, right?
He has to.
Pretty common.
He has to.
Here's the deal, boys. 30 seconds left. Fourth quarter. Time for a kickoff. You got Forrest Gump. Wants to go home. Returning the kick. You got Bobby Boucher on the coverage team who thinks Forrest has been talking bad about his mother. Who's scoring? Who's stopping?
I think Bobby stops all day long.
All day long.
I think so,
Have
man.
you seen Forrest speed?
Have you seen that man when you talk about his mama?
Angry fella.
Angry fella.
Wouldn't want to mess with him.
I agree that Bobby stops Forrest, but I think Devin Hester returns the kick.
Lateral from Forrest to Devin Hester.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one because Forrest is just quick, but Bobby hits so hard.
But can Bobby catch him?
That's-
That's the problem right there.
Well, it also depends. Where's Bobby lined up at?
That's true.
You know?
He's running up with the kicker.
Okay.
It's a running start.
So my thing is like Bobby kind of has the advantage, right? Because Forrest is a very straight line runner.
Not very elusive.
Not
Not
known
very
for his route
elusive.
running.
So
Just straight line speed.
if Bobby has that path and it's clear, Bobby takes him down.
Forrest might be in some serious health issues here.
However, if Bobby's trajectory, because he's also a very
Straight line. Go to
straight
the
line
point.
runner, so it all depends on where they're lined up.
I think that if they're both like staring
Head-on
straight-
collision?
head-on, I think Bobby puts him in the hospital.
Absolutely.
Let's
Yeah.
say nobody else on the field.
Just them
They're just
two.
running Oklahoma.
Catches it right down the middle of the hash marks, and Bobby's on his way.
You know, we never really saw Forrest in a position where he had to
Had
move
to-
around.
Always had great blocking.
He did.
Forrest Gump, system return man? Question mark. Yeah, thank you, Uncle Sean, for that that off the wall question there.
I'd like to think Forrest could sidestep. I think it would throw off his speed and he'd have to build it back up.
My gut initially said Bobby. I'm gonna stick with that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I
In
think
my
that's a
head,
consensus.
I'm imagining him like
Dude,
like moving out of the way, but it's just like a half-second stop, turn around, move to the right, and then go.
in my head, I'm imagining like a cartoon level of demolition.
When they hit, it's like a Looney Tunes, just cloud of dust.
Yeah,
And you see feet flying out, and there's like whirling dervishes.
I don't
and-
think either of them win in this situation.
but the audience does.
Exactly.
Plus, we all know ping pong's a devil. With that, boys, NFL time. We got news, we got stats. Cam, where do you want to start?
News as always. Alvin Kamara back in action this week. Thoughts?
Immediate impact?
Expectations?
First game out, or first day out game. Does he
It's
go-
funny, but he never went to jail.
Yeah, but he almost did.
I didn't realize that's what you meant, even
Yeah.
with that comment.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Wow.
Hey, get him out of your system for next week.
Like I said, it's funny, but
I assume he slowly works back in. 10, 15 touches. Get his legs back under him. Because I don't think he's been able to practice during this time.
I don't think so.
Not under
No.
suspension?
I think maybe limited touches, not an immediate impact, but next week is when we'll see Kamara back full in.
So fantasy-wise, I wouldn't start him unless you absolutely have to,
Yeah, I would wait till next week.
but I wouldn't drop him either.
No, I'd be maybe trying to get rid of Kendre Miller.
Yeah, don't care for Kendre no more. Jamal Williams on the IR. So ideally, if you did draft Kamara, he was your third or fourth running back, and you were waiting for this moment. Maybe your first guy is Saquon or Eckler, who got hurt. You can plug Kamara in come next week, and he should still finish a top 20 back, top 15, missing those 3 games.
Probably.
I think I've got him in at least one league, maybe 2. So I'm excited. Should definitely help the offense out, even whether it's Carr or Jameis.
Yeah.
Safety net, catching balls over the middle.
Yeah, PPR, Alvin Kamara is huge.
Either way, though, for week 1, don't overreact. 10,
Yeah, I
15
would-
touches minimum, or maximum, I should say,
Yeah, I agree with that.
and get him back in.
I would be shocked if he got more. Now, he has been in the system for a long time. They haven't really had many personnel changes. So maybe they just bring him right back in. But again, I'm not expecting super explosive plays right now, at least. Next week is when my expectation goes up. I've had a full week of practice. I'm sure he's been keeping himself in shape.
You would assume so. The man's a professional.
So, yeah, I would. He might shock me, but I wouldn't be upset if I didn't play him this week, even if he goes off.
With that, Shane, the Jets got their guy.
Trevor Siemian.
Unexpected, to say the least.
Yeah, of all the vets,
I thought they'd go get somebody.
maybe like they tried to call and people were just not answering. They're like, New York? I don't know anybody in New York.
No chance. Until big Uncle T said, I'll take a little contract here.
I'll take it.
Go
Might as
vet
well.
minimum.
What do you got? What do you got for me?
Let's be honest here, though. I'd rather start Trevor Siemian over Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's sad to say, but that's how bad
Yeah.
Zach has been.
I mean, you don't think, I mean, they could have sent like a 7th round pick to Seattle for Drew Lock or something. Like, you could have tried something, anything. Maybe signed a practice squad guy.
We get Taylor Heineke from Atlanta.
Yeah, give a guy a shot.
Call up Joe Flacco. And they had one guy call them or write them.
Yeah.
TB allegedly seen in New York.
Is it a far-fetched thing to say that you'd rather have him than Zach Wilson?
TB?
No.
Cap?
Yeah.
No.
Honestly, it's not far-fetched to say I'd rather have Shane than Zach Wilson.
You could probably hold a locker room together a lot better.
Probably. I just wouldn't blame everything on everyone.
When your superstar receiver is looking at you and saying you can't effing throw right in front of everyone,
Your ideal personality, superstar wideout,
yeah.
is losing and stuff like that. Whoo boy. And that begs the question, which you've kind of been talking about here. Has Saleh lost the locker room entirely?
I think we're seeing the beginning stages.
Because of his, for some reason, complete loyalty to Zach Wilson. Surely
So
behind
this is-
closed doors, he's talking to the GM like, look, man, we got to do something here.
I mean, it's pretty typical to see the head coach stick with the guy that they wanted, but like Zach is just so bad.
I agree, but if you're losing the locker room over it, that's where you have to draw the line,
yeah.
right?
Can't sacrifice one dude and one of your ideas for the team.
Do you think it's like a pride thing at this point?
For Saleh?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I just don't understand the reasoning. I mean, he is so bad. I mean, shit, dude.
Whoa.
I can say that, right?
No.
Well,
Well, let's be honest. We talked about this the other week. If we're going for YouTube guidelines here, the very idea of smoking itself is against guidelines. So, if it happens, it happens.
That's true. Give Dallas a second back and get Trey Lance.
I don't know if Dallas would part ways with Trey Lance.
It's worth a shot.
With Jerry, he's a guy that would have pride and stuff. He thinks he could maybe
Yeah,
fix Trey Lance.
I'll be honest, I think Trey Lance is their guy after Prescott's contract's up, or if Prescott, like,
Gets hurt again
Stinks it
or
up.
decides he wants to play like he played against the Cardinals every week.
but at the same time, God, Jerry let Romo, poor beat up Tony Romo, finish his career on the lowest of lows.
Yeah.
And everyone forgot how good Tony Romo actually was
The most overhated quarterback of all time.
because of how bad he was after his 17 broken collarbones.
Yeah. I mean, anything is worth a shot at this point. Go get Bailey Zappi.
Dude, there's guys on practice squads you can sign
Yeah.
for probably cheaper than vet minimum.
They'd probably pay you to play.
I would think, honestly, there's probably a guy on every practice squad that could at least compete with Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, look at Josh Dobbs.
Actually balling out.
Yeah, he's playing pretty solid. He was a
Yeah.
practice squad guy last year.
Go see if Keenan Allen wants some more reps at quarterback.
Call up Julian Edelman.
Jarvis Landry.
Get Jarvis in
Solid
there.
player.
Odell. Like, we're
Yeah.
going to do quarterback system.
Terrell Pryor.
Yeah,
Braxton Miller still out there.
Is he?
somewhere.
Well, he's not in the league.
He's
but-
out there somewhere. I mean,
No, he's doing a lot of like camp work with the kids and everything.
That's good. Good for him.
A great dude. Love that guy. Either way, which locker room do you think is in worse shape right now? The Jets or the Broncos?
I don't know.
The Jets didn't lose by 50.
I agree.
The Jets also didn't score 20.
I don't think they have once. We're not seeing players on the Broncos blowing up on coaching like we are now with the Jets. This is kind of like, we saw this in Cleveland with Freddie Kitchens, right? This is how it started. There was gripes between teammates. Then it was, I'm just going to yell at my specialist coach. And then if nobody says anything, we'll yell at the quarterback right in front of everybody. Then we're going to start yelling at the head coach. And at that point, you're losing respect as the days continue. And when that respect's gone, there's only literally one option, and it's to get rid of your head coach.
Yeah.
Because it's borderline impossible to win back a locker room.
I mean, you just have to hold them together until Rodgers comes back.
So what, 4 more months?
Yeah, but even then, if the locker room's gone, it's not even going to matter when Rodgers comes back.
You don't think Rodgers can pull them together?
I think
No.
Rodgers will be the locker room, but even then, if you have a team against your head coach, then the coaching's not going to jive with the game.
If anything, that should be Rodgers' role right now.
Keep them together?
Get the locker room back.
He
Help
should
Salah out.
definitely be working
They all
on it.
respect Rodgers.
Yes.
As a man, I'm sure they respect Salah too. But in Denver, at least, Peyton has the resume where he has default respect. And I don't think an 0-3, even giving up 70, is enough to lose all that right away.
No.
Ugly in both, but I think Denver still has a chance.
Who knows, man? Maybe Trevor Siemian pulls them together.
Don't write him off. Be Geno Smith 2.0.
Could be.
News-wise, I think it's about all we have, but we got some great stats. Going retro to start off with. Cam's new favorite stat of all time.
Mr. Thomas Edward Brady never took a snap in the league of the National Football League when his team was statistically or mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
In a 23-year career?
How is that possible?
Incomprehensible.
Genius, though.
That's an amazing stat. That might be the best stat of all time.
Yeah. Because, I
And
mean,
the top 10 are probably all Tom Brady stats.
realistically, though, how
You
many...
were never once in a point where you were not leading your team to the playoffs.
It's GOAT doing GOAT things.
For
Yeah.
23 years. Even their worst year in Tampa last year, still made the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, he pretty much single-handedly drug that team.
Yeah. On his, quote, worst year.
That's why he's the greatest human being to ever live.
See if Tom wants to come play for the Jets.
Again, I don't think he actually is allowed to because he has minority stake in the Raiders. So that'd be an issue with the PA and conflicts of interest and
He could sell.
whole ugly legal fiasco.
He could sell.
But I'd love to see it. TB12 in a jet uni. You thought Tampa was weird? Imagine him in the white and green.
Throwing out routes and slants to Garrett Wilson all day long. Check downs to Brees and Dalvin.
Could you imagine that locker room with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers?
You got to kick Aaron out.
I don't know how much they would mesh.
When an alpha dog like Tom comes
Yeah,
in,
you can't have two alphas.
Maybe Aaron takes a step back
he's too alpha too.
on that ayahuasca.
No.
No?
Aaron is like might be the most alpha, to be honest.
Well, not counting Gardner Minshew.
Well, that's
Whole different category.
there's got to be something above alpha that we can call Gardner or Sam Hartman.
Demigod,
Yeah, I guess Sam Hartman's probably Zeus.
give or take.
Yeah, I don't know. The Jets are. I figured they'd at least be able to hold on.
They were better last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Zach Wilson, Mike White, and Joe Flacco just playing whenever they wanted.
I'm calling the Dolphins back right now. Saying, hey, man, can we get Mike White back?
Please.
We'll send you whatever you want.
Is Tyrod a free agent?
I don't even know where he's at.
There's got to be some, like, is it Marcus Mariota? No, he's the backup for Philly. Never mind. I'm trying to think of, like, there's got to be some guy
Who was
who
Skylar Thompson from the
was,
Dolphins
like,
last year?
somewhat decent. Because Trevor Siemian was terrible.
Yes, objectively. His whole career.
Yeah. Now, call it what you want. The Broncos were also
Dumpster fire.
dumpster fire.
Dude, I'm calling for Mitchy Biscuits, dude.
Anyone.
Give me Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah, at that point, I will literally take anything. So, I mean, I guess wanting to take anything, you take Trevor Siemian, right?
Is Case Keenum anywhere?
He's got to be somewhere.
Yeah, he's somewhere. He's on call at least. He'll answer.
Because I'm looking at the list of free agent QBs, and I mean, I don't see a guy on here that's worse than Trevor Siemian.
Dude, I'm finding Brian Hoyer right now.
Name some.
We've
Don't just
got-
look at the list when we're talking about, man, I wonder who's out there.
Well, some of these guys, this isn't updated, but I mean,
Here's a list from 2015.
no,
You didn't look up 2023 free agent quarterbacks?
I did, and it's showing like the list before they all signed. Like, it's
Okay.
still got Derek Carr on here.
Okay, not a free agent, but
I
let's run
know.
through here.
Taylor Heineke, Jared Stidham, Jacoby Brissett, Case Keenum, Cooper Rush, Brian Hoyer.
Did Brissett sign?
Where did I feel like he signed somewhere.
He had to have. He didn't have a
He
bad
did.
year.
He did. We covered that. Heineke's in
Yeah.
Atlanta. Brissett.
Oh man, where did Brissett go?
That was like 10 shows ago.
Yeah, there's no point in flipping back.
Either way, he is a backup somebody in the league.
You've got.
Scroll down a little further.
I still have not seen Trevor Siemian.
Well, probably for good reason.
Blaine Gabbert, Nathan Peterman, Mason
Ooh,
Rudolph.
That's the cutoff. Would you rather have Nathan Peterman or Zach Wilson? That's the only actual debate.
Doesn't Nathan Peterman have the
man.
statistically worst game ever played?
Yes.
yes.
I think it was like 2 for 14, 5 picks, like 11 yards.
I'd rather have Zach
Give me
Wilson.
Zach.
that's-
Give me
that's-
Zach.
That's the cutoff.
The fact that I can't name another quarterback I would rather pick Zach Wilson over.
Besides the literal worst of all time.
Like, honestly, give me Jamarcus Russell over Zach Wilson, dude.
Dude. Oh, wait, no. Here's the availables. Okay. Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, Colt
I'm calling
McCoy,
Carson right now. I'm calling Colt right now.
Joe Flacco, Nick Foles, Chase Daniel. There's Trevor. Will Greer, Trace McSorley.
No, Will Greer's with
He just signed with Pats.
Pats.
I mean, like, literally just happened, though.
Although all those other people named, I would take over Trevor Siemian.
Correct.
Even Chase Daniel.
Correct.
They've still got Tom Brady on here. So he's got to be eligible.
Technically is a free agent, but a lot of hoops to jump through.
And then the rest of these guys. Ben DiNucci.
After balling out in the XFL,
What about an XFL guy? Yeah.
I'd take most XFL guys over Zach
A
Wilson.
cool Millie. That'll get those guys over here.
you could probably give him like 60 grand.
Sign me up, dude.
Just pay for their travel, honestly.
Yeah, travel, food, and hotel.
Yeah.
Then like $20 on top of that.
Little stipend.
A
Yeah.
pack of cigarettes.
Now we're talking. Oh, that's funny, though, man. Nathan Peterman.
I forgot about him.
I did too until I saw
Yeah,
that.
blocked him out.
That's one of my traumatic memories.
Back to the good stats, though. Mr. Jalen Carter. My Rookie of the Year pick. a guy we all loved going into the draft, and I thought the Eagles got an absolute steal with. Through 3 weeks, he is the highest graded defensive tackle, the third highest defensive player overall, I assume behind TJ Watt and Myles Garrett. He's the second most double-teamed defensive tackle and still has the second most pressures while only playing less than 60% of the snaps.
Second most double team behind only Aaron Donald, probably.
Has to be. Yeah. Just killing it so far. Snap share should even go up even further, but they have such great rotation on that line that they're always staying fresh. And that helps so much. You got fresh guys coming in every other down. Making a strong case for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Now, how about your Brownies?
Best in the league.
Allowing 0 or negative yards on 53% of plays.
More than they're allowing negative yards more than they're allowing yards
Correct.
by 3%.
Now, you mentioned the competition has not been great so far, but even with that,
Steelers offense,
it's
abysmal.
outrageous. Outrageous.
Bengals offense, they were going to start slow because Joe Burrow refuses to work out and train and camp, and they refuse to play starters in the preseason. So the Bengals, for the next 5 years, will start 0-2 every year. So, again, offense, abysmal until week 7. Because even last week, looked better, still not great.
I wouldn't call it good.
Titans, kind of suck.
Stop Henry. That's all you need to do.
But, yeah, you stopped Henry. That's pretty impressive.
And more importantly, there you got an offensive lead early, where Henry, I think, only played like 37% of the snaps. Because when they go behind, they do not play Derrick Henry.
Because he can't catch.
He can't catch, and I guess they want to try to conserve him for the playoff run they're not going to have. Questionable.
Just throw the ball to him. He'll probably catch half of the balls you throw.
He'll get one, right? Do something here.
I would imagine he does not legitimately, although it looks like he does have stone bricks for hands, he can hold on to a football, so he can probably catch one.
There's some finesse in there somewhere.
Like, as long as his fingers move, he can probably catch a football.
Will that rate continue against Baltimore this week?
I think this is our first. Baltimore's offense hasn't looked great, but because of the versatility they have, it's the first time we've played a team like that. So it's going to be a pretty tough test, but I hope it does.
And maybe some big playability to
Yeah.
finally have to worry about. Either way, though, Jim Schwartz, best hire maybe in history.
Why can't they have a coordinator of the year spot?
I know there's a college one. Nothing for the pros yet. But it would be Jim Schwartz,
And well, I guess it would have been Eric Bieniemy for the last 7 years
give or take. Yeah.
for offensive.
Or any San Fran defensive coordinator that became a
True,
head coach.
Yeah.
There's only one current quarterback that's yet to turn the ball over. Shane, do you know who that man is?
Oh, we talked about this.
But you have a short memory.
Justin Herbert.
Is correct. Love to see it. He's having to play out of his mind because their defense is trash. We'll touch more on that later.
Having to play on a MVP level,
Some would say. Which I think, I was going to say next week, but again, you won't be here. So when you come back, we'll do awards
Second
recaps.
week of October.
Yeah.
None of us have Tua for MVP, so we all lost out on that, unfortunately.
Odds-on favorite now, right?
I think
Would
so.
have to be. Actually, can coaches win MVP? Because Mike McDaniel should be up there. There is a new champion with at least 500 attempts, the highest yards per carry in NFL history at 5.42. Do you
Shane.
recall that one, Shane? No. Cam, take it away.
Raheem Mostert.
Do we dare say Raheem the Dream Mostert?
Do we dare say Raheem, the best running back in NFL history? Mostert.
Yes.
At this rate, how do you deny it? 5.42 yards per carry. And maybe the true fastest man in the league.
He is so fast.
I want to see a race at the skills weekend. Him, Tyreek, and a chain.
And DK.
And yeah, throw DK in there.
Well, Tyreek's been saying that he's throwing money at these people to come race him, but they won't.
Mostert said, screw y'all. I'm the fastest dude in this team and in this league.
Tyreek also, I believe, won a gold medal
He
at
did.
some track and field event over the offseason.
I know he offered $100,000 to race DK and he never got hit back up on it. And then he told Mostert, I'll put up 100, you put up 50. And it still got denied.
Maybe come next offseason.
Or skills weekend.
That'd be ideal.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. Something to watch in the Pro Bowl at least.
And
Although the
then
skills weekend is fun to watch.
It's gotten a lot better.
The actual Pro Bowl game is just terrible.
But all the old skills contests are so much more entertaining now.
Which I feel like is kind of, besides baseball, that's kind of how all of the All-Star weekends are.
The actual game's kind of subpar.
Well,
But the fun stuff is,
feel
I've been
like-
killing it.
I feel like NBA's been going downhill.
Yeah. But their skills stuff is still fun.
Yeah, it is.
Love the dunk contest, love the three-point contest, love the actual skills challenge. I love the Rising Stars games.
My favorite thing now is they got the Rising
the
Stars.
Rising Stars games. Are really
Their little tournaments they do now with the 8 teams or whatever. I like that. I like that they're getting a G League team involved.
Yeah.
And the final stat I have here, Mr. Matt Gay, the first ever to have 4+ 50-yard field goals in one game. If you had him in fantasy, congrats on that dub. Same for
with
Evan McPherson. He had what, 50, 52, 49, and
Something
50,
like that.
something like that.
He was right behind Matt Gay.
Maybe next week. And with that, Shane, it's time to go to
The film room.
Cam.
We need a director's clip thing.
That'd be ideal. A little rolling
Yeah.
and then clip.
That'd be really cool.
Let's start off with, I guess, the Dolphins, right?
Dolphins Broncos.
New yardage record. Almost a brand new point record, but McDaniel said, nope, not going to kick it.
Very professional.
And also snarky. It's
Yeah.
like, we all know they could have had it.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I'm not going to do that to you, Sean.
Because he does have respect for the Broncos somehow.
Well, he was their ball boy.
Well, he grew up in Denver. He was in their apprenticeship coaching program thing that they had. He was their ball boy. Then come 2020 when they're looking for head coaches, doesn't even get a phone call.
Passed him up. What could have been?
So bittersweet victory for Mr. Mike McDaniel.
Here's some stats for you. Tua, 23 of 26, 309, 4 scores.
What was his average?
11.9.
Solid.
Mr. Mike White, 2 for 2, 67, 1 touchdown. And then comes Devin Achane, 18 for 203, an 11.3 average, 2 scores. Mostert, 13 for 82, a 6.3 average, 3 scores. Some dude named Chris Brooks, 9 for 66.
Again, this is the Broncos defense. This is still a good defense that we're talking about here.
But they totally gave up. Gave up early. They were like 24 missed tackles. Tyreek, 9 for 157 and a score.
It looked like a lot of plays where guys just were like, let's let them get the record.
Can't catch him. Yep. Not even. Why should we even try?
Yeah, I don't know. They look complete. I mean, even the locker room interview with the offensive tackle said, I've been here for 7 years and all we've done is lose. Getting tired of it.
That was honestly sad.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are heartbroken because of how bad the team is.
And again, not too late to turn things around. But that's got to be just a back-breaking. How do you go home after
And
that?
the sad thing is, it's a talented team.
On paper, yes.
Cortland Sutton is a talented receiver.
Yeah.
Judy is a talented receiver. Mims, talented guy. Russell Wilson, talented. He played great.
Has been playing much better this year.
Go down the list on defense. They have a lot of talented defenders. But they are just completely broken down.
Yeah, mentally, no fortitude whatsoever. But what better way to bounce back than getting the Bears next week?
That your turn to score 70, guys.
Imagine getting beat by 50, going on the road, and being a 3-point favorite. That's all you need to know about the Bears right there.
Yeah.
How about the Texans-Jags? Another shocker.
Jags are, I don't know what's going on.
Time to worry?
It's early.
Defense they have no pass rush whatsoever.
No pass rush.
Offense out of whack.
Offense is not clicking at all.
But much more fun for me is, I think you called it in our prediction show, Texans might win 7, 8, 9 games.
Yeah, I
Stroud
definitely had the
looks
Texans higher than
incredible.
you guys did. But I think I had them not last in their division, but I think third. But I can't remember who I had under them.
The Colts probably.
Yeah.
I think so.
3 straight very good weeks from C.J. Stroud. Love their young receiving core. Still no run game, but again, the O-line's been banged up all year. That should get better as the year progresses. And then defensively, to hold the Jags to 17 points at home, pretty impressive. But I think
Will Anderson being the defensive leader he was brought to the team to be.
Yeah.
Kind of under the radar performances. Not doing anything spectacular, but
nothing box score wise.
Yeah. He's an amazing leader, doing a lot of things, like field general kind of things. You love to see it. Like Micah Parsons, his rookie year, really, before they moved him pretty much exclusively to edge rusher at this point.
Yeah.
So hopefully they keep Will Anderson as that general on the defense.
What a bright future. If you go 2 for 2 when they traded up to get Will, right? They took Stroud first.
Yes.
If you go 2 for 2 with Stroud and Will Anderson, and they're your cornerstone for the next 10, 15 years, that's an all-time draft right there.
Yeah.
But again, I would say not time to panic yet in Jacksonville. Ridley did drop a long touchdown pass that he otherwise would have caught. They're going to figure it out offensively. But more important thing, got to get that pass rush going. They got Atlanta in London this week. Never really know. They're used to playing over there. That they play 2 games a year.
Yeah.
So hopefully over there already. I think they travel as soon as the game's over on Sunday to get acclimated.
Is that the game that's being used for the Toy Story animations too?
I believe so, actually. Yeah.
That's going to be fun to see.
I'll watch a little bit just to see it. Yeah. Want to go home talk here? Or let's go Steelers Raiders first. In an egregious coaching decision there at the end.
Again. He did this. Josh McDaniel, I think, did the same thing last year.
Pretty much every week.
One, I don't know why you call all 3 timeouts before the 2-minute warning. That makes no sense at all. 2, you're down. They were down 8, right? And you kick a field goal when you were getting pretty solid big plays
On 4th and 1.
on 4th and 1.
In plus territory.
What are you doing?
I might not have this exactly right, but he's the first coach since they've had the 2-point conversion to not go for it when it's been a yard or less and you're down 8 with less than 2 minutes to go. He said post-game, well, you need another possession here anyway. No, you don't. Go for it.
You
Score.
tie.
Go for 2.
You need another possession to win, but if you go to overtime, you were having big plays.
Analytically or just straight eye test, would you rather go for it or kick a field goal and then have no timeouts under 2 minutes? Onside kick? That's a 1% success rate the past 10 years?
Pretty much.
You're not getting the ball back if you kick it to him, so
No.
what are you thinking here, Josh?
Go for it, and even if you don't get it,
At least you tried.
that and they have terrible field position. Where if your defense can hold them, which their defense was playing pretty well, odds are you're going to get the ball back with timeouts and time to do something.
This game reminds me, we did skip IR. We'll cycle back to that here.
Oh, we did, yeah.
I don't know how we got a little
Big time.
ahead of ourselves here.
You were very excited.
I had to
about
turn the
film
page,
room.
and IR was on top, and
And you love the film room.
I do love the
you
film
came
room.
up with
It's
that.
my baby.
Yeah, you came up with that. It's great. It's the one creative thing that.
Well, that and the Fink nickname.
Yeah,
So I'm 2 for 40 or so.
give or take. Yeah, we had about 75 balls dropped when we were coming up with the name of the show.
You can call me the Nathan Peterman of creative ideas.
Man, those 2 completions were really good.
Hey, like what you're seeing there. Just hone that in some. Let's build on it, improve for next week.
And 5 picks.
Now, Brownies, big win. 27-3. Offense looked much better.
Finally, looked like the offense was clicking on all cylinders. Watson looked great, minus 1 mistake that was very dumb. But if it's going to be 1 mistake and then phenomenal gameplay. I think he only had 7 incompletions.
27 for 33.
So 6.
Yeah, and 289. So he's not taking all dump offs.
Nope. Would have been, what's 289 plus 60?
349.
Yeah, that was pretty egregious.
Would have been 349 and another score.
And Coop would have had 176 instead of
Yeah.
116.
But throwing out of sacks, expanding the pocket phenomenally, throwing on the run, throwing across the body. Closest thing we've seen to prime since he came to Cleveland.
And then play calling wise, 2 thumbs up.
Solid. Yeah, definitely a lot better.
Again, of course, defensively, just domination. Tannehill, 104 yards. Henry, 11 attempts, 20 yards.
Honestly, I hate to say this. I really, really do. I really, really hate to say this. Like, I don't think I can explain how much I hate what's about to come out of my mouth.
I don't know where you're going here, but oh my, you're not gonna say it.
I think he's going to say
You're not gonna say this.
I think I have to.
Oh my, do we want to cut your mic right here?
Deshaun looks better when Chubb's not on the field.
This is a story last year that they can't cohabitate.
I think when Chubb's on the field, you run a lot less shotgun. You run a lot less RPOs, bootlegs, a lot less where your running back is going out for passes. And it pains me to say that. But I think it might be true. We'll have to see.
Just
It was
one
just
game.
one game, and it was against the Titans, who have a solid pass rush, but everything else is pretty abysmal. But if it continues, then I have very low hopes for when Chubb comes back, unfortunately.
Now that's more of a Stefanski thing, though, right? I'm sure they could implement this same style of offense with Chubb, at least to a further degree
could.
than what they've been doing.
They did it with Baker, with the bootlegs and the RPOs and expanding the pocket and all that, his rookie and sophomore year when we were a successful Browns team. And then since then, it's just been single back and I formation for the rest of the time. And Watson's great out of the shotgun. That's when he can use his legs. It's when he can expand the pocket. He breaks sacks really well when he has that extra footage on them. And I'm sure Nick Chubb would be great out of the shotgun also. I don't think there's a formation you could put Chubb in where he's going to be bad.
No chance.
So I don't know why I don't know. But so far, I hope it's not true. Well, I guess
For the time, for this season at least.
I hope it is true for this year.
Yeah.
And hopefully next year they can figure something out.
Well, speaking of needing to figure things out, Dallas red zone and Dallas penalties single-handedly cost them the game. I mean, defense wasn't
one
great.
other thing. DeJuan Jones, no false starts.
Maybe he heard you last week
I think he did.
because he totally changed.
100 looked like a completely different player.
Let's get his streak going here. I don't even know where to start here. Dallas moved the ball very well. Dak played well overall besides that dumb pick at the end. Pollard had 122 on the ground. When you go 1 for 5 in the red zone and 0 for 2 in goal to go, and you have 107 penalty yards, you can't win games even against teams like Arizona, who, you know what? Not that bad.
Looked good.
I think they're like 9th in offensive efficiency right now with Josh Jacobs moving the ball. Defensively, I don't know if losing Trayvon hurt that much, but couldn't stop him. Dobbs was 17 for 21. Easy throws for the most part.
Yeah.
And then Connor, 14 for 98. Dobbs, 6 for 55. Rondale Moore had a long touchdown run.
Do we see the Cardinals bench Dobbs in hopes to continue their tank?
Maybe they don't want to tank anymore. Who knows?
I don't know.
I mean, Kyler should be back come week 9, 10, somewhere in there. But at that point, if you're 5-5, 4-6, and Dobbs is playing well still, maybe you just tell Kyler, hey, you got turf toe,
really,
right?
really rehab that.
Are you sure you're feeling good? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? That's why. Let's go ahead and wait out a little bit longer. Either way, fluke game. We'll bounce back. But knock from the unbeaten ranks, and I think not for my power rankings here, which we didn't go over, but I do have my 5. I think it's
like
pretty consensus. Yeah.
I will say the one thing that Arizona did is when you go up on the Cowboys, that's when Dak makes all of his mistakes.
Correct. And a big thing, too, I think, is having the Eagles defensive coordinator as head coach. They played Micah perfectly, ran away from him, isolated him, kind of took him out of the game. So that knowledge definitely helped. Coached a hell of a game. Definitely better than Mike McCarthy.
Unfortunately, I think Belichick will also take Mike out of the game. But I don't think Mac Jones is as versatile as Josh Dobbs.
Wouldn't shock me, though, because, again, his best weapon is taking away your best weapon on both sides of the ball. So lock up CD, run away from Micah. Back-to-back losses, honestly, wouldn't shock me. Then you get Niners in Week 5. And we know how you do against the Niners. So, momentum a little bit down. Overall morale, a little bit down. But hey, we still them boys, right? Now we'll go back to the IR. With definitely some big names here. I mentioned Trayvon.
Diggs tore his ACL.
Out for the year. Sucks to see. It's definitely going to hurt having Gilmore be your true CB1 now and having to move Deron Bland over to CB2 out of the slot. Going to open up middle of the field some, but I think Dan Quinn can adjust to a better scheme to fit what he's got right now.
I think Hooker will get a lot more coverage over the middle also. Maybe less of 2 safeties in the back covering deep. Maybe 1 safety back deep, 1 covering over the middle, medium to deep. So, because I think Hooker's still phenomenal. I think he could kind of cover what you're losing out of Trayvon for the most part as far as big playability against you. Losing your star week 1's always going to be rough. First week after, you got to re-scheme. Not a whole lot of time. Now you know what works and what doesn't. Dan Quinn's smart enough to make very good changes and adjustments. So,
heard it in practice too.
Yeah,
which is always the worst.
And one-on-one drills, which have been being called to be removed from the Cowboys practice since Des Bryant.
Ooh, what are we doing here, boys?
I don't know. Apparently, players have been against one-on-one drills since then. Dez and many other players, I believe CD doesn't like them. They're kind of pointless, to be honest, because you're never really in a one-on-one scenario.
Plus, you know your guys that can get free one-on-one. I don't think CD needs to work on that much.
No.
Either way, it hurts to see because I was so excited to see how Diggs and Gilmore could do together. And Diggs played very well the first 2 weeks. And he had to go down and practice like that. Besides Micah, probably the most important player on the defense. Maybe Lawrence. But
After he reeled it in and decided he wanted to be a good corner instead of just get 13 picks.
Having Gilmore, too, to help him out, you can have a little more help over the top and take more chances on balls because you know the other side of the field is going to be locked down, too. Either way, tough to see. And tough to see again in L.A.
Mike Will.
Same thing, torn ACL. Great talent, just can never stay healthy.
Hate to see it.
After a great game, too.
Yeah. Derek Carr, shoulder injury. I know you said it was apparently like a pain tolerance thing.
Yeah, so Saints writers are saying it's basically just a matter of if he can play through it or not, if he wants to. If he says, Coach, I'm good to go, then they're going to let him play. If he says, nah, hurts too much, I got to wait another week or two. I think it's a sprained AC joint. So, in his left arm, I believe, so not his throwing arm. Which is
good.
Beneficial, yeah. But either way, I guess it's very painful. So, give him some shots. Give him a little something extra, whatever you got to do. And because I heard a terrible take today, which I texted the group about earlier, too. Somebody said they're better off with Jameis than they are with Carr, which I find to be just preposterous.
Yeah, that's pretty outlandish.
I don't know if that guy just doesn't watch football, period, or didn't watch the Saints at all last year or years prior.
Or the Buccaneers.
Or the Raiders, honestly.
Yeah.
Because they're the same old Raiders, except much worse off now without Carr, now without Jimmy G, who's in concussion protocol. At least for this week.
Hopefully he clears
Yeah,
quickly.
I want to see him at full strength against the Chargers.
Is their backup still Stidham?
Yeah, it's probably going to be Stidham or maybe the rookie they drafted, I think Aiden O'Connell. They're talking about.
Out of, I recognize the name.
I almost want to say Notre Dame, but I don't think that's right.
I don't think Notre Dame's quarterback went to. Oh man, I want to say he went to like Oklahoma or something.
Got that there for me, Shane? Mr. Aiden O'Connell out of
Purdue.
Purdue, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Stidham played well in the couple games he had last year at the end of the season. So we'll see what happens there. But hopefully it's Jimmy G.
I think anybody could throw the ball to Devontae Adams too.
Yeah, that's a fair point, including Nathan Peterman.
Got to get the ball in the general area of your wide receiver, so I don't think Nathan Peterman checks that box.
And he could do 2 times.
Yeah,
At
true.
15, yeah.
Yeah.
You got news on Jalen Waddle.
He has cleared concussion protocol. He was full in practice today, not limited at all, so should be good to go for week 4.
Yeah, we didn't even mention they put up 70 without Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought.
Would have been nice if he was in for my fantasy team because I'm in the slumps right now.
Well, we'll come back to that.
But not for the league.
Not for our league.
No,
No.
I don't have him.
I have no Waddle, unfortunately. Or maybe for this week at least, fortunately.
I have 1 share.
Shane has none because Shane's in 1 league. Like a true pro, honestly.
I have like
I respect that.
2 or 3 shares of Watson, so that's kind of sucking. I want to play him. Hopefully I can play him this week.
Him and Aaron Jones both.
I have a share of Jones. I
Should
think
be
I have
good
2
to
shares
go.
of Jones, actually.
I do as well. They played Thursday night, so early week. But, of course, they didn't play last week. Plenty of
In
time to
my
get healthy.
league that I have Aaron Jones, Stephon Diggs, A.J. Brown, and Scary Terry McLaurin, I also have Aaron Jones. I believe I'm 1 and 2.
In my Aaron Jones league, I also have Saquon, who no news on him yet. Probably out another 2 to 3 weeks, I would assume. Would love to see him back sooner, but overall, no news to report. Same with Eckler. Wants to go. Practice very limited this week. They have a bye week in week 5, so I would assume take 1 more week off, get the bye, get fully healthy, and come back in week 6. So if I could survive 1 more week without Eckler, I guess 2 counting the bye, we'll take that and move forward. And then your boy Tony Rich
I believe cleared protocol
practiced.
and practiced, so excited to have him as my starting quarterback in fantasy. I believe I have 2 or 3 shares of him.
I'm excited to watch it, more importantly.
Yeah, he's basically Cam Newton.
But prime Cam Newton.
Yeah, MVP Cam Newton.
But almost faster.
Oh,
It's been a while since I've seen
he's
Cam.
definitely
but man,
faster.
He's explosive.
Cam was more of like a power back.
Yeah.
Like he was just trucking dudes and stiff arming guys, like Josh Allen.
And Tony has that same frame, but with a speed in there with it.
Yeah. Very excited to see how Tony pans out.
Now we can go back to actually one more thing. Cooper Kupp.
On track to play week 5. First news we've gotten from him since he got placed on the IR, which I respect.
He's a quiet guy anyway.
Well, I respect McVay for keeping all that within internal
Because they've surely been getting questions about him.
all the time.
Like probably all the questions are about.
But then again,
Cooper.
maybe not because Nakua and Atwell have been playing phenomenally.
It's a fair point.
I did see something during that game that I thought was very odd. Why is Kyron Williams still returning kicks and punts?
And getting 100% carry share.
Yeah, that's insane.
So if
You're
he gets
like-
hurt on a punt return,
You're like begging for your running back to get hurt.
you're going to call Cam Akers back.
Like you are begging. I saw Tutu Atwell took a lot of carries too. Like he had a lot of end arounds, which I thought was also odd. Like, is that your compensation for Williams still returning kicks?
You got to take a few reps off his hands.
Why don't you have Atwell return kicks?
That's what I would do. I think he's faster anyway, right?
Yeah.
Either way, you don't want your only running back on the roster getting your kick returns.
No.
On what's typically like the most dangerous play in football,
Pretty much, yeah.
most injury-prone play. But who? I'm not Sean McVay, so what
And
do I know?
then Nakobe Dean also got sent to the IR with a foot injury. sad to see. He had a lot of potential. So hopefully it's nothing too serious and he can bounce back pretty quick.
Now we can go to game of the week.
Our new games of the week.
Well, last week I had Bolts Vikes, which was a very entertaining game. Also frustrating.
I feel like pretty much went.
As a quasi-Charger fan, Staley is competing for worst coach in the league.
It's going to be tough to top. At this point, Saleh
And Josh McDaniel.
Josh McDaniel and Sean Payton.
They were up 4, minute 30 to go on their own 18-yard line. Instead of punting and letting your defense have some kind of breathing room, they go for it. Again, on their own 18, don't convert. But then finally the defense stood up and held the Vikings down. Either way, some stats here on Jay Herby. Give the man a defense. Since he's been in the league, he has the worst defensive help ever, giving up 26.4 points per game. When the defense scores or allows 28 or less, Herby's 20-6. Then the Viking side, after last year being, I think, 10-1 in one possession games, they're 0-3 so far this year. And one of 4 winless teams remaining. Kirk's playing great, offense moving the ball. No run game, but no defense. Honestly, the 2 worst defenses in football right there.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think they're legit ranked 31st and 32nd.
The fact that the Cardinals' defense is better than yours, tough.
The fact that the Broncos' defense is better than yours.
After giving up 70, yeah, that's tough.
Who did you have last week?
The Eagles-Bucks, called the Bucks winning. Still a great game. If the Bucks played better in the first half, they probably could have won. But they really didn't pick it up until the second half. And at that point, the deficit was too large. But overall, definitely a fun game to watch. Kind of went as I expected. Finally got to see A.J. Brown doing what A.J. Brown does.
Again, they made a point after last week where he got nothing, complained a little bit. They fed the man.
Finally. I believe Devontae Smith still had a solid game.
He had I think 5 for 50.
Yeah, nothing terrible.
And DeAndre Swift.
And DeAndre Swift had a great game.
He did.
Keep feeding that man.
Yeah.
Kenneth Gainwell, who?
I don't know.
Boston Scott, who?
I want to say A.J. Brown had like 10 for 1-something, 115 or 116. But I was just shocked by how much Tampa gave up. I mean, like, not.
No, their defense isn't that good.
It's not that
Yeah,
good.
and it's also
but
last year's reigning offensive, besides KC.
yeah, I don't know. I didn't expect it to be such a one-sided game in the first half.
Wasn't a one-sided game in the final box score.
It wasn't.
And overall, still really haven't seen the Eagles at their best.
No,
Not even like 80%.
not really.
But they still ran for 200 on 40 attempts. Now, this week's game of the week. Shane, what you got?
Let me pull it back up.
Cam, what you got?
Oh, I know. It was Browns-Ravens. I think it's going to be super competitive. I don't think it's going to be high scoring, but it'll be not fun to watch if you don't like defense. But if you like to watch good defense, then it'll be a good watch.
Glad you're picking up keywords we said before the show started.
You're going to go official prediction, which you almost nailed, Vikes, Chargers,
I
last
did.
week.
You're like one score from each team off.
I'm going to go 21-17 Browns.
I can definitely see that. If anything, maybe less points for Baltimore.
I think they'll keep it tight.
They have Justin Tucker, dude. He can kick 75-yard field goals.
Yeah.
He did finally miss last week, though.
I
You see
know.
that?
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. Am I dreaming right now? He just
real.
missed a 59-yarder?
Which is
Which is
absurd to say.
I feel like you're shocked when he misses one.
But the fact that he missed a field goal with a 5 in it is absurd. Which it's not, actually,
It shouldn't be
but it is.
For
He's
the
that
GOAT.
good.
for the GOAT. I'm going to go with the obvious one. Dolphins-Bills.
Should be like 70-70.
Or it could flip. Definitely the best defense yet for the Dolphins to face. Weird game last year. The first one, at least in Miami. This
Was that the butt punt?
Yeah, and like 4 turnovers for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Just a bizarre game. High yardage, but turnovers, red zone deficiency.
I'm actually sitting Josh Allen in fantasy this week.
Ooh, who are you starting then?
Tony Rich.
I don't hate it.
Josh Allen always plays very odd against the Dolphins.
There's kryptonite. Same kind of with Brady for most of his career.
Yeah.
Something about that Miami Sun, man. Even though this one's going to be in Buffalo, but
Something about that Buffalo Sun, man.
in late September, you just can't prep for it. Yeah, it should be high scoring. I want to see how Tua does against a top 10 defense.
Very good defense.
Definitely more pass rush. But I think with McDaniel being so smart to negate the pass rush, I want to see how they utilize Mostert and a chain. If they get split carries more.
Yeah, I want to see if a chain's a valuable fantasy guy.
Or just a 1 week flash in the pan kind of guy.
Yeah.
And then same thing. How does the Dolphins defense match up against still a very good Buffalo offense? Key there will be turnovers, both sides. Allen's been prone to it. Tua's been great so far at keeping control of the ball. Win the TO battle, you probably win the game.
Yeah, I agree. I got the Lions-Packers on Thursday night.
Sneaky.
I think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be a shootout. Watson and Jones should be back. Dobbs is healthy. Jordan Love's been balling.
My boy Musgrave.
Luke Musgrave. Josh Reynolds, Amon-Ra. Jahmyr Gibbs is not doing anything.
My boy Sam Laporta.
Sam Laporta had a big game last week.
I'll get used to that.
Jared Goff's been balling out of control since he went to Detroit pretty much. So, marquee matchup for the division.
Detroit won in Lambeau last year in Rodgers' final home game to ruin their playoff chances.
And after Rodgers shouting out Jordan Love for still being the owner of the Bears, he's got a little chip on his shoulder. So, should be I'm thinking like 35-38.
You going Detroit?
Packers.
Packers? I'm going to take the Lions. And again, a close one, high scoring.
I'll take the over of whatever their over-under is.
Very well could be the most entertaining game of the week.
I will take the over on whatever the over-under is for that game.
And then power rankings here. Again, I think pretty consensus. Actually, I may have deleted them already. But I got Miami at 1, of course. Niners 2. Coin flip, Eagles, Chiefs at 3 or 4.
Agreed.
And then I'm going to drop Dallas out.
Move the Brownies in,
and
maybe.
move the Brownies or the Bills in. I think, again, kind of a coin flip there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the top 3 locked in.
So, yeah, we'll do 6. Browns, Bills, Eagles, Chiefs, Niners, Dolphins.
3 unbeaten teams left. And the 4 winless teams are playing against each other. You got your true game of the week, Broncos, Bears. And then Vikings in Carolina.
If the Bears somehow win, Sean Payton has to retire.
Immediately.
This should be like the Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels WrestleMania match, where the loser retires, but this isn't scripted, allegedly.
It can't be scripted.
Question. Would you rather have Justin Fields or Zach Wilson throwing the ball?
Are you allowed to run?
Just pocket passing.
Yeah.
Probably Justin Fields.
Call me crazy, but yeah, I'm going to go Fields. Stronger arm.
Stronger arm.
He can't be any less accurate.
And he does take forever to make decisions.
That's an understatement.
He basically, making his reads is like reading the entire Harry Potter series.
Twice.
Yeah. And then he's moving on to the next guy.
But Zach Wilson's still just so bad, dude.
So bad.
So bad. We actually have a new rule. We cannot pick Zach for Bum of the Week ever again because it's just not fair.
You could default to that every single week, even through the offseason.
Can we call it right now, Bum of the Year, Zach Wilson?
We could. I think if Simeon becomes a starter, absolutely Bum of the Year. You had starter handed to you on a silver
late
platter.
September, and we're already calling Bum of the Year. Oh, boy.
I think Russ won last year.
He did, and deservedly so. But he's got a new contender in 2023.
Man.
All right, boys, time for an ad break. Come back with fantasy talk, some NBA news, huge NBA news, a little bit of UFC, and of course our usual closing segments. Episode 56 of SnS back after this. All right, Cam, I know you're going on your long-awaited honeymoon, a place where you typically don't work out at.
I'd have no intentions.
You know what? I'm not going anywhere, and I really don't want to work out either. I mean, like, I want to.
Well, you're celebrating.
Well, I'll be there in spirit, but I just don't want to go to the gym.
Who does?
Going to the gym is rough.
It's really a downer, you know? Everybody's on your equipment, sweating all over it, not cleaning it, and you just sitting there taking pictures for their Insta. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
I got a routine to do here. Can you please, like, get out of the way?
I don't want to be in your picture either.
No. Like, you ask them, like, dude, could you move? Or, like, we can work in together. They're like, nah, dude.
I don't want to be the least in shape person in a picture ever.
No.
That just seems horrible.
Look, I'm vain, and I have to agree with you there, Shane.
Yeah.
If I'm going to pick, I try to be the best-looking guy in that picture.
Either that or at least medium.
Middle of the pack.
At least comparable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the point is, I got to get back in shape.
I do too.
But I don't want to go to the gym.
Who wants to go to the gym?
Boys, do I have the solution for you?
What?
ACE certified personal trainer Evan Keaton will come to your house and train you.
How?
I
You
don't have any
anything.
equipment here, though, yeah.
Don't you worry about that.
Am I going to do push-ups?
He will bring it.
Brings equipment.
He brings equipment. And he's ACE certified
ACE certified.
by ACE themselves.
Okay, I mean, I do enjoy lifting, but I hate the diet part. So I wish I could find some help for that, too, because nutrition is just not my forte.
Let me tell you, this guy is the guy. He will help you with all of your nutritional goals. He's not certified in nutrition, but he knows a thing or two.
He'll give you some good advice.
Yeah.
Set me on the right path.
He will.
Well, how can I get in touch with Mr. Evan Keaton?
You can contact this fella at 937-308-6324. Or if that doesn't work for you, he does have an email, allthingsfitness15@gmail.com. And, you know, if you don't want to write an email, I get it. He also has a website, allthingsfit.org.
He also has Facebook, All Things Fitness. Instagram will be tagged in our post. It's like All Things Fit dot something. So it'll be in there in our Instagram post. It'll be on the Facebook. So reach out and enjoy. Also, since we're just going back on air like we normally do, who would have an email but not a cell phone, Shane?
What?
You read his cell phone number and you said, if that doesn't work out for you, here's his email.
Maybe they don't want to text him. I don't know.
Maybe you're already on the phone, and you're like, man, I got to send an email real quick, and I
That's
can't
true.
wait till this phone call's over. I'm going to multitask, keep my business call going, and take the first step to getting back in shape.
Then how are you listening to this ad?
Dude, you got your Bluetooth earbud in the other ear. It's 2023, okay? People do all kinds of stuff.
I feel like I just thought the first thing that came to my head was like some very old man just sitting at his computer, not knowing how to work it, just typing up emails still.
in like a Word document.
Yeah, he's gonna send Evan a letter like, "Hey man, I need some physical training, or I forget what it's called already.
ACE certified.
ACE
certified.
training.
Yeah, whatever.
He's got like a quill and ink pen.
Well, I mean, he's got an email.
He's
for
on a
reason.
typewriter.
It's on the business card, dude.
Whing!
I messed it up. Restart. Evan Keaton also 2-1, I believe, in the SnS Fantasy League.
I'm playing him this week, and I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of scared.
I'm 0-3.
Ooh boy.
Maybe
And
I'm 2-1. Got beat for the first time this week.
Unfortunately, Josh Jacobs has just been awful.
Are you going to make any moves?
No.
Yeah, he looks way different than last year. Much less explosive. Not the vision I'm not seeing is there.
I don't know what to do. Because I have Josh Allen, Christian McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs.
On paper, 3 incredible
Great.
picks off the bat.
We thought you won the league with that Josh Jacobs pick.
I thought I did.
You might still. Only 3 weeks in.
I mean, last week I played Raheem Mostert. For some reason, Matt Gordon put Raheem Mostert in over DeAndre Swift.
Had a feeling.
But shout out to Matt Gordon. Matt Gordon's Leather Working.
Gordon's Leather on Facebook.
So
Fantasy call of the century.
apparently,
So
for
far.
at least that week.
Yeah.
So far.
Because Swift still had a great game.
Yeah, you probably would have lost anyway.
But
right.
it would have been 20 points less I think I would have been in the game.
You've got let's see, Evan 2-1, Matt Gordon 2-1, Mr. Bill Alexander 2-1, Uncle Rudy Lopez 2-1, myself and Shane 2-1.
Doing pretty good.
Cam down there with Todd McCaffrey at 0-3, and the lone undefeated team, Miss Demi at 3-0. I've got McCaffrey this week. You said you've got Evan.
I do.
No, you have there, Cam?
Nope.
It's not going to matter. It'll be 0-4.
Exactly.
Well, in terms of other fantasy news and
On the plus
questions,
side, if I go finish last, I'm not getting fired. That wasn't the deal.
correct, it was only applied to Shane.
So
And it doesn't look like that's going to
it
happen.
appears you're not being fired, Shane. Congratulations. Not for this reason, at
Comes
least.
a 9-game losing streak.
Not at least not for your fantasy football play. You being fired, still up in the air.
Again, maybe next week. Because when Cam's not here, there's only one majority. I'm the sole vote. So if
That
I'm in a
is
bad
true.
mood that day,
Company layoffs.
yeah, sorry, we got to cut back here.
But I do have Christian Watson playing this week.
Great to have him back.
So my true wide receiver 1 will be nice to have. I have A-Chain on my bench. Still trying to decide what's going on there. Give it a couple weeks after last week. So I could have a quality back there. Got Javonte going this week. I can't bench Josh Jacobs.
Not in week 4.
And I believe he finally had like a somewhat decent week last week. But yeah, it's been rough.
Yeah, overall, this is my least favorite team, going into the draft, or I guess post-draft. But Herbie kind of carried me. Huge week last week. Hopefully Eckler comes back and plays. That's 2 straight weeks without him. 1-1 so far. Kenny Walker's been phenomenal. DK Olave, kind of hit and miss. But my boy, my league winner, Sam Laporta. Love him at tight end. Cowboys D after that great first 2 weeks really. Took a bit of a nosedive in week 3. Should bounce back. And then bench-wise, I'm going to rock with Quentin Johnston, who I just picked up. Because with Mike Will going down, the question is Quentin Johnston or Josh Palmer?
Quentin Johnston all day. Report came out from Coach Staley today that Quentin Johnston will see a massive uptick in targets and volume.
Yeah, I agree. I think we know what Josh Palmer is. He's mid. He's a decent player. He might give you maybe on a high side 10 points a week. But I love the upside that Quentin Johnston has. They drafted him first round for a reason. I think you're going to double Keenan Allen a lot more now, and that should leave some holes open. And hopefully some big playability for Quentin Johnston. So if he's out there still in your leagues, pick him up as soon as possible before he blows up week 1 and you can't get him on waivers or you're going to overpay for him in fab. Get him while you can.
I do want to say, I always forget that you're my age because you're an old soul.
Well, I'm also not your age, though.
So when I hear you say things like mid, it
Sounds a little weird.
shocks
right?
me a little bit.
Isn't it?
I'm surprised you even know what that means.
I'm still late on that, though, right? Isn't mid already kind of out?
Well, you're not the pioneer by any means,
Well, I just started, but
but
a late
it's
adoptee.
relatively new.
I got that Riz, that's how I roll.
I think I usually forget about the age gap until it's like we're drinking, and I'm like, what are you drinking? You're like, Scotch. And I've got...
I have a lot of older gentleman tendencies.
You do.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here sipping on my 12th
SoCo.
Budweiser. SoCo. Yeah.
SoCo and Natty Lights.
But then our tastes come together when I'm like, you want to smoke?
Absolutely, I do. Here's a cigar for you.
That's not the smokes I'm referring to when we're drunk.
Heaters, dude.
Heaters all day
Heaters
long.
all
Burning
day.
heaters. Yeah, the only time I will smoke some darts is when I'm drinking
Darts.
heavily.
See, that's another
Yeah.
old.
I think
Darts.
darts has made a recovery, though.
I feel like heaters is kind of old, actually.
Is it?
I
But also, I don't
so.
think young people smoke cigs anymore. It's all
people,
vape.
young people smoke cigarettes.
That's
brother.
coming back now, too?
It is, in a big way.
Wow.
Because I feel like my generation growing up, kids didn't smoke cigs.
Kids smoke cigs now because 12 people that they've seen.
You say,
in
first of all, you can't say my generation when it's like a 1.5 year age gap.
yeah, that's true.
Well, I didn't say not your generation. I'm just speaking my generation.
Our generation.
Our generation didn't really smoke cigs, I feel like.
young people smoking cigs all stems from high school when one guy whipped out a pack of cigs and everyone's like, that's gross. And he's like, try it.
Peer pressure at its
I
finest.
see more like one cool guy was smoking cigs, and everybody's like, "Oh, that guy's so cool."
Definitely.
I
gotta
think
get
that's how it was
cigs.
back in the day. Like the dude sitting with his foot propped up on the school side with
Yeah,
the
with his
leather on.
chopper
Yeah.
and his leather and his
Yeah.
slick back hair,
Truancy letter in pocket.
Yeah, hanging out a little bit.
look like James Dean over here. There's an old reference for you, Shane.
I don't know who that is.
Exactly.
Now I definitely think it's more like Shane's, where it's just some dude smoking a cigarette and everybody's like, "Oh, that's so gross," and he's like, "You want one?"
Nah, dude, trust me, my uncle smokes. It's cool.
No,
He
it's
told
not
me.
even that it's cool. It's literally you're so drunk that you're like, cigarettes are gross. And then they hand you one and you're like, it's pretty
Cigarettes
good.
are awesome.
Good combo.
Cigarettes are really cool.
I want to chain smoke a whole pack.
I'll definitely say this. Ever since I started smoking cigarettes, I definitely understand why people do it.
Don't say you started because you don't avidly smoke cigarettes.
No, it's just like when I'm drunk, I usually keep a pack in my car.
Yeah,
Also, I don't inhale, so I don't think that really even counts.
It depends
it
on the day.
counts. Still
It
counts.
half counts.
Yeah.
It still counts.
If you're not inhaling it, what are you getting from it when you're drinking and smoking a cig?
Just the routine. Just
Really?
the motion for me, yeah.
Oh.
The activity of having something in your hand and burning a cig in, I don't know, 2 minutes.
That's fair.
But
Because I
anyways,
smoke cigars first, I don't chase a nicotine buzz, so
Yeah.
true.
But a nicotine buzz when you're drunk goes crazy. It's nice.
I can co-sign on that.
Anyways, Devin a Chain is our second topic in fantasy. I would say either sell high if you're down bad, or give it a couple weeks before you throw him in.
There's no way to project what he's going to go and what he's going to get carry-wise moving forward.
Yeah, you went from 1 carry to 18, and nothing week 1.
Literally, I forgot he existed.
So we don't really know what the game plan is for him because Mostert also had a great game.
And now with maybe Jeff Wilson Jr. coming back next week, they're still going to play him some. So yeah, you might get a 65-yard run from a chain every other week, but is that worth a starting flex spot? If I had him, I would sell high right now. This is going to be his highest stock, and probably, again, no way to know for sure, probably his best game ever, at least this season. What about 50 bomb, right?
Yeah, it should be his best game.
4 touchdowns. You don't replicate that too often. I would sell now. You could probably get a lot for him, especially to a team that's in desperate need of a running back or a flex spot. Probably get a pretty nice haul. And maybe the same with Mostert. He should have more reliable carries, but again, off that great game, maybe getting less shares moving forward. You can get a more reliable back or a top-notch wideout. So I wouldn't pay the price to get him for what he's going for right now off the waivers or fab, and I wouldn't buy him in a trade for what it's going to take to get him.
I agree. 2 guys you are very high on. Tank Dell and Nico Collins.
I think right now they're both must starts. And I like Tank Dell the most going forward. His target share has gone up each week. His first read look's gone up each week. He has bigger yak upside. Running across the middle, small dude, elusive, great speed. Again, love Nico too. I think they're both going to be viable pieces going forward because Stroud's been so damn good so far. And they're behind a lot. No run game. Throwing the ball 40, 45 times a game. And almost all those targets, you're still getting some Bobby Trees, but mostly just Tank and Nico.
Yeah, pretty much. And then you have some must drops.
I do. Also, before that, though, the Browns' backfield. We saw week 1. I think Ford got 10 carries. Hunt got 6, and
Should stay similar.
Pierre Strong got 5.
I think it'll stay pretty similar.
Is Jerome Ford a start kind of guy?
I think if you're PPR, yes, because I think he will get a lot of opportunities catching out of the backfield, maybe as a flex, but I don't think he should be in your or running back 1 or 2.
But definitely worth keeping on the roster. Come bye week.
Yeah,
Maybe they decided he's the bell cow, your main down player.
I'd love to see that. And I think he's a good start, but that's only because my running backs are horrible. I completely wasted my pick on Dameon Pierce.
I'm in that club too, brother.
Oh my man! And then the week that I took him out, he had an okay fantasy week, like 15 points, but like
Solid.
I don't count on that. I'd rather take my odds at Jerome Ford getting 10 carries for 50 yards, a touchdown, and a reception.
Now, Houston is getting Laramie Tunsil back, I think, this week. Should help the O-line improve, but they're still, I think, down 2 or 3 starters. And when you're down so early and continue to throw the ball that much, I wouldn't say Pierce is a must drop, but he's definitely
Not a start.
a must bench
Yeah.
if you haven't benched him already. But I do have 4 must drops.
I think one of them is just way too personal to you.
Yeah, he wasn't even really drafted that much.
I don't think anyone's really starting him.
I just loved him so much in the draft. I thought he'd be a great potential. Michael Mayer, not against him or his ability, just no targets, no snap share. So if you do happen to still have him, like I did in a couple leagues, just a waste of a spot right there. And also at tight end, a guy you might have drafted, or somebody at least drafted, too early. Kyle Pitts.
A must drop. When
After-
I believe 2 weeks ago, he was our diamond hand.
After 3 weeks of this, plus all of last year, I think our only hope is if they happen to bench Ritter and put in Heineke. But with Ritter starting and that run game, I don't feel good even having him on the roster, period.
I don't think he's a must drop. I think of just beating a dead cow here, but I think the targets will come.
Was that intentional?
What?
That misuse of a saying?
Is that misuse?
That's beating a dead horse.
Whatever.
I mean, you could still beat a dead cow, but
I think I'm just going to coin that.
we'll take it. On the cam wall of newly created sayings.
Yeah, cut me some slack, bud.
To cut you some flack.
Cut me some slack.
You're saying it correctly now.
What?
Cut you some slack is the correct use.
I thought it was flack.
I thought it was flack.
No, you've been saying flack, and it's wrong.
Oh, wow. I thought I was so right that I changed it to the incorrect one.
You wholeheartedly believe that you're right, that you ran with it, and now
Yeah.
you're confused entirely.
Yep, now I'm confused.
Wait, I thought that someone made fun of me for saying cut me some slack. Like a week
I probably
ago.
did.
No, Cam said he got some slack when he meant flack. And now he's saying cut me some slack, which is correct.
Scratch that. We'll cut that. Cut me some flack for using the incorrect terms because I'm coining my own. I'm an individual. I'm not
He's
a
a-
follower. I'm a leader.
He's a trendsetter.
I'm a
could say.
trendsetter.
We know a few of those.
Exactly. There's a reason why I don't wear Hey Dudes.
Can't trust those guys.
But anyways, I still think Kyle Pitts is worth a roster spot. I think his time will come. I think eventually they're going to have to start throwing the ball if they want to stay in games. So, yeah, that's all I have there.
Could be personal for me here too, but Jalen Hyatt, another guy I really like pre-draft because their wideout rooms has no depth.
And he was drafted in the first round?
Yeah, and looked great in college. Same thing, really no target share. He gets like one deep ball target a game, and that's pretty much it.
Which is insane because nobody's really getting targets, which makes no sense.
Yeah, their
Darren
passing
Waller's
game-
playing great, but
passing game's just not there. So why not try to utilize Hyatt? Maybe just not that good. Maybe he's just not getting open. But either way, if you have him on your bench still, got to drop him, clear up space for
unless it's a
Tank Dell.
keeper league or a dynasty league,
Then you can consider. Yeah,
then I would hold on to him for next year.
I didn't factor in special circumstances, but in a typical league, let you have a 20-man bench, then he's got to go. And then last but not least for me is Zach Charbonnet, who we've seen week after week, Kenny Walker getting more of the share, getting
Phasing.
more of the plays, more of the downs.
Phasing Charbonnet out of the offense.
So unless you have him handcuffed, where you carry both guys, where maybe you're concerned about if Kenny Walker does go down, you still have a starting running back there with Charbonnet, I would not continue to waste a roster spot on a guy that you're never going to start, even in a bye week. So go ahead and cut Mr. Zach Charbonnet.
Now we'll take a quick pause so we can get our sleeper stuff pulled up and do another live draft for you guys this week.
Cannot wait.
Back after this.
All right, so back into sleepers from last week. Mr. Cam, a total of 58.64. Rough week overall.
A true sleeper team, though.
Yeah, you went out there. 6 points from Desmond Ritter. QB spot, not ideal. High score, Joe Mixon at 14 points overall. Other than that, no double digits besides Gabe Davis at 10.3. Mr. Shane, a 90.34. Another great week. Led by 25.1 from Mike Williams and Romeo Dobbs, 18.3. Myself, we got a streak going here, boys. 3-0. A total of 102.4. Pretty close. But CJ Stroud, 20.6. Jerome Ford, 19.1. And Tank Dell, MVP, 25.5. Low score was 8.2. Chris Godwin and Jalen Warren both. So when that's your floor in sleepers, you're going to do pretty well. Now, boys, a challenge this week would be appreciated, honestly. So as always, 12 or below for quarterbacks and running backs, 24 and below for wideouts, and 5 and below for tight ends based on ESPN standard PPR scoring. Cam with the first pick at QB.
Give me Purdy.
I like it. If he was there, I probably would have taken him myself.
He is just outside of 12, so might be the last week I can grab him. So I'm going to capitalize.
And I believe Shane already said he's going to go for Gardner Minshew.
I'm going to go with Gardner Minshew.
You were not joking.
No.
Now, what if he doesn't play?
It's his decision.
I mean,
He knows that Anthony Richardson practiced 100% today. So he made this decision already knowing that. We've already went over it, said Anthony Richardson practiced in full. He's really reaching on a sleeper here.
I am.
Do we give him Tony Rich if
Nope.
Minshew doesn't play?
He has the opportunity to draft Anthony Richardson, but he chose not to.
Well, I'm going to go against Shane's pick and take Matthew Stafford, ranked 22 overall right now. Then my first running back off the board, again 12 or below. Can't go Swift. That's just not even fun. Took Rashad White last week. We're going to go Roshan Johnson against the Broncos defense.
I took him last week, so hopefully you have better luck than I do.
Well, they're playing the Broncos, so fingers crossed. I know Shane wants his boy. The aforementioned Dameon Pierce.
I really don't, but you took Jalen Warren last week.
But you didn't, so
It is playable.
with 3 guys, you kind of have to play it that way.
Yeah, give me Jalen Warren.
Jalen Warren off the board.
I think Pittsburgh's finally had enough of Najee.
I know exactly who Cam's taking here. At least who he should take. The one and only.
Ramondre Stevenson.
Ooh, not where I saw you going, but I like the pick, even though it's against a Dallas defense that kind of got torched last week by James Conner.
And
And
I'm
then
going
doubling
to
down.
follow that up with Dameon Pierce.
Ooh. Surprising pick there, I think, at least for me.
Your
But
guy's
this
going to
could
fall
be-
back to you.
This could be the breakout week. Cam knows who I'm talking about because I don't think Shane knows who it is.
No way.
Shane's second running back,
Give me
technically Derrick Henry at 21, would qualify
Does
as a
play.
sleeper.
I can't do that.
You can.
Well, you took Jalen Hurts 2 weeks ago, so
Yeah, and it bit me.
And again, you guys, you're down 3-0, so rules are rules. You guys can play the rules.
That
Give
is
me
true.
Tyler Algier.
Okay. Off the wall. Him and B-John can both produce, especially against a Jags defense that really hasn't been that great yet. But I'm going to go same game against the Bears defense, Javonte Williams.
Yep.
Which, of course, means it'll end up being a 3-3 game defensive battle.
In your first wideout 24 and under.
or below. We're going to go with... Now, see, I want to take Watson, but that's not... He's missed time. He's not a sleeper.
Hey, the rules are the rules.
Yeah, but I gotta stay by him here. So we're gonna go Quentin Johnston.
Love it.
Kind of in the same vein, but should hopefully blow up this week, or at least get some improving target share.
Love it.
If I see 8, 9 targets at least, I'm fine with that, if not more.
Shane.
Let me get Marvin Mims.
Ooh, I was looking at him right now.
Love it. I'm going Jamar Chase.
Rules are rules, baby.
And I'm going to follow that up with Tyler Lockett.
Or reliable. Shane's second wideout here.
Let me get Elijah Moore.
Getting more volume in the Browns offense.
That's what I was thinking.
A lot of runs out of the backfield.
I did see a couple of those.
Absolute speed threat. Love the pick. We're going to go with the guys appearing to be the number 2 in Indy, Mr. Josh Downs. Talk about an actual sleeper here. And then tight end, unfortunately, I can no longer pick my boy Matt Laporta and the number 2
Sam
overall
Laporta.
spot. I don't know why I said Matt Laporta. I think I know him. He was an old baseball player, I think. So we'll go with my other boy, Luke Musgrave.
All right.
This is where sleepers could be won and lost at the absolute depth that is tight end.
Give me Mark Andrews.
Like it. I thought about going there. I'm going DPJ. Donald Parham Jr.
Ooh,
After a big week.
2 tutties. Herbie loves him. And Herbie operates a lot on trust, so a good sign will be at first week if QJ can get in there and not drop anything, run good routes, and earn some trust there from Jay Herbo.
And where the week is actually won is my flex. Taking Jordan Addison.
Love that a lot. I meant to mention earlier in the fantasy segment, his snap share so far has increased from 36 to 40 to 59.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, overall, so far, what a great rookie wideout class at the top end.
Yeah.
That should be deep with Raji Rice, Hyatt, I thought, Cedric Tillman, who, again, is he even real?
One day.
Shane, your flex pick. Again, probably the most important pick of this draft.
I'll take Calvin Ridley.
Poised for a huge week over in London. Again, should have had a huge week last week after he dropped a 60-yard touchdown and like another 25-yard gain. That's 14.5 points right there.
Yeah.
That should have been on the board. I'm going to lock in my flex with the one and only Josh Kelly would be funny.
It's going running back.
Nah, there's not enough depth here. Not enough guys I'd like. Go back to the wideouts, scroll through, and lock in. I don't know if Carr was playing, I might go Rashid Shaheed. But I think guys are starting to catch on to Tank and Nico. We're going the old vet, old reliable
Bobby Trees.
So hopefully, I can finally get some competition come week 4. At least make it close. Let's get Cam out of the cellar. Actually, I think we agreed off air. If Shane didn't win by week 4, he's actually off the show.
I believe that is accurate.
Now, he was kind of inebriated on SoCo, but he agreed to that.
I believe he did.
So, Shane, no pressure, pal, but,
I don't remember this.
well, you wouldn't. But we need you here. You need it here.
There's no way I said that.
Dude, of course we're messing with you.
Yeah.
No, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But you got to stop believing everything we say. I know I'm a very good actor.
Well, no, it was the inebriated on SoCo. I definitely probably said some stuff.
Oh, yeah. You did.
Yeah.
Worse than that.
I think
That's pretty bad.
I think I remember the one that's worse than that.
One you told on air, which I'm still very impressed by.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I do remember telling that.
Oh, Shane's crowning moment. If there was a Shane compilation, that would be.
In there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, do you start with it or do you close with it?
You I think you've got to.
I think you close with it.
Yeah.
I don't think anything because that's the top of the notch.
Yeah,
right?
nothing gets better than that.
It could definitely get better next week because there are definitely more stories.
Ooh, well, we'll see how I pull the strings next week when it's just me here.
Let's pump the brakes because it is a sports show next week still.
It is,
Yes.
most importantly. It's called Sports and Stogies, not Stories and Stogies. Although they could be under the umbrella of the future
Sports and Stogies.
SnS company.
True.
I do also recall you saying that under the umbrella you may fund my my Madden.
Whoa.
That
No.
didn't
I
happen.
said you would have to fund it.
Again, we talked that whole thing through that night. That's not what happened.
I think that's what happened.
No.
No, this was the other night.
This was like 2 days
One-on-one.
You're supposed to go with the bit, man. Come on.
ago. Yeah.
No, I said if we ever got big enough where we had an umbrella, you could have your own YouTube channel where you played Ultimate Team and you could do pack openings with whatever you earn from your own channel.
Seems fair to me. Now, before college ball, I really want to talk about this trade, NBA-wise.
Yeah.
Haven't talked hoops in a while. I know you're itching to talk about it. I know Shane's got his opinions here. This is his forte.
And I know you said you had a couple talking points.
I got a couple questions for you guys. Yeah. So first of all, let's get the full details here. A 3-team trade. Which had a lot of moving pieces.
So the mystery team in the East was apparently the Milwaukee Bucks.
Out of nowhere.
So the Bucks, the Trail Blazers, and the Phoenix Suns made a blockbuster trade. Portland receives Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Tumani Kamara, Milwaukee's 2029 unprotected first-round pick, and an unprotected Milwaukee swap pick for 2028 and 2030. The Suns receive Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, Keon Johnson, and the Bucks obviously get Damian Lillard.
Off the bat, who do you think won?
It's hard not to say the Bucks.
I think the Suns won.
I feel like every team made out pretty well.
Yeah.
It
I
was
agree.
Pretty even across the board.
I do really like the cap side of what the Suns did.
In my opinion, is Suns, Blazers, Bucks.
Really.
Yes.
I think that keeping Giannis happy, because his whole thing was like, they got to show me that we want to win. And then they go and get Damian Lillard.
But you also got rid of Drew Holiday.
You did. But
And those were both of my two main talking points off the bat.
So you're talking DPOY level of defense and really good offense.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard, very lackluster on defense.
He is lackluster on defense.
And his offensive explosiveness is very hero ball.
Because it's had to be.
I was going to say,
True.
we've never seen him with someone
Very
that's-
true. So I don't know how it's going to mesh.
I don't either. I'm really curious about it because
And how bad did he really want to play in Miami is the other kind of question mark.
he did want to play in Miami. But the thing is, you're not going to be mad that you're playing with Giannis.
So he wanted to win a ring, mostly, right? Miami would have had the opportunity, but so does Milwaukee. They're now the odds-on favorite to win the title. You play with one of the top 3, if not top 2, if not number 1 best player in the league. And I think their games might complement each other a little bit better because now Giannis can take a step back on offense. And with having less effort burned on offense, can play the outside more on defense. Whereas, look, he can't replace Drew Holiday. I do hate that. But he can play on the wing more, let Brook Lopez lock down inside, and take some more plays off, let Dame score, stretch the floor some more. Some easy lobs, pick and roll kind of game.
I think it'll be good. I really do. I'm just curious to see how quick it becomes good. Because the season's right around the corner.
Yeah. And I don't think it's going to be a seamless transition because you don't just get used to not having Drew Holiday.
With a new head coach, keep in mind.
Also true.
Yeah.
Now on the Sun side,
I love it.
finally get to get rid of Ayton,
Yes.
bring in Nurkic.
Vet, center, just
Pretty-
going to get you rebounds.
Pretty similar
solid.
roles, yeah.
But you don't have a guy fighting for gigantic contracts. Grayson Allen, another bench depth 3-point shooter. Nasir Little, solid defender. Same with Keon Johnson. Both pretty solid role players. So the rich get richer in Phoenix, in my opinion.
And look, you already got your big three there. Are you worried about a slight step down in offense, losing Ayton for Nurkic?
No.
I don't even know how much of a step down it is.
It's like a lateral.
Defensively, same thing, pretty even. But attitude-wise, effort-wise,
Way up.
significant upgrade.
My only worry with the trade is that if Nurk gets hurt, they're pretty weak at center. That wasn't ever really a huge problem with Ayton. He was always pretty consistently healthy. But if Nurkic stays healthy, I love the move. And then in Portland, man, I mean, they definitely got what they needed to justify moving Lillard. I mean,
You have a facilitating defensive first point guard now. So that opens the floor up for Anthony Simons and your young guys to step up. Ayton, solid center, great for the offense, solid on defense. I think we'll see a big change from him. I think he's going to be happier. His role is going to be bigger, which is what he's wanted in Phoenix. So I think we'll see a big step up from Ayton. And Toumani Camara has potential, and you get some solid draft picks.
And now you could open the floor up off the bat for Scoot to come in and take control of the team.
Pretty much.
Now, I've heard a lot about they're going to flip Drew for more picks,
I really hope
like
they
right
don't.
away. I know there's going to be a lot of contenders come calling because Drew's a great piece to have for maybe Boston to replace Marcus Smart, flip Brogdon. I've heard talks of your Sixers, Shane.
I would really like to see the Sixers get him.
This guy's a championship player. Every team wants a Drew Holiday guy.
I mean, Drew is one of the few guards that I would say I'd like moving Maxey for, because I think he complements our play style a lot better, just a facilitating defending guard.
I also think Maxey can be Drew Holiday.
He can be, but it's really young. And I think that if we...
Well, it's also coaching.
It is. I think if we want to win with Embiid, then you have to get people that complement his play style a little bit more.
Oh, correct. You do have to build your team entirely on Embiid being your entire offense. I
You
forgot
do.
about that.
How well does Drew accept blame for things he doesn't deserve?
I don't think we've seen it.
It's a key factor
The biggest factor.
Yeah.
on whether or not he meshes well with the 76ers.
Yeah.
Before I forget, did you do anything for that career comp?
I haven't done that yet.
Just to make sure we don't forget that.
I need to.
I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
The other thing, Shane, you kind of touched on earlier, the good pressure that Giannis put on in the offseason. Not saying, hey, I'm going to leave, but when worked out with Hakeem, hey, I'm still getting better. What are you guys going to do to get better around me?
I like the attitude, because it's not just this place sucks, I want to go somewhere else. Because he's showing loyalty. I mean, you don't see that anymore. And for good reason, because teams are so quick to move on from players anymore. But
Like
Not
Drew,
typically when you win championships.
Drew
though.
just said, like yesterday, I want to be a Buck for life, retire a Buck.
Yeah.
And then business happens.
I like it a lot.
A lot of times Giannis was asked, hey, if you got one guy you want to play with, one teammate you want, he kept saying Dame.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a direct move to keep him healthy.
I really hope that it works out for the sake of watching basketball. Now, for the sake of my team being in the Eastern Conference, I'm absolutely terrified.
East just gets tougher.
Yeah.
But you know who really lost out? The Miami Heat.
Yeah.
Now you have a lot of disheveled players.
The rug torn out completely from under you.
Well, your entire hopes landed on landing Dame, so when all of your free agents signed elsewhere, you're just like, okay, that's fine. But now all of your free agents signed elsewhere, and you don't have that extra piece.
And you now have an unhappy Tyler Hero,
Yeah. And an unhappy Jimmy Butler.
for the most part.
Yeah.
Probably an unhappy Eric Spoelstra, too.
And probably an unhappy Bam Adebayo.
I don't even know how upset Hero really is, because he was the one that was going to get shipped off, more than likely.
That's why he's upset.
You think he wanted to go to Portland?
No.
Oh, he's just upset that he was going to get traded.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. I thought you were saying that he's upset that they didn't get Dame. Yeah. I mean, to do what you've done for Miami and have them be willing to give you up like that.
Like you being their first, like, oh, we'll give you Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
Like, I'm that expendable to you guys? That's what I'm worth.
But to be fair, knowing that you're probably the centerpiece for a trade for Damian Lillard, you can't be that mad. I mean,
Yeah,
the man's pretty good.
Yeah, it doesn't outweigh the slap in the face.
That's true.
Now, the Bucks currently have 3 all-time scoring leaders for different teams. Giannis being their own, Dame being Portland's. Do you know the third?
Would it be Brook Lopez?
Brook
the
Lopez,
Nets?
Nets
For the
all-time
Nets.
leading scorer. Only team ever to have done that. Let's say Suns Bucks finals. Who do you like more in the way too early prediction? Because again, Bucks are now the favorite to win the whole thing, to win the East. I'm sure Suns are still the favorite to win the West.
I'm gonna say the Bucks, and it's because I don't think Nurkic stays healthy. It'd be nice to see him stay healthy, but I think that if a matchup comes where it's Brook Lopez versus your backup center in the finals, you're probably getting outboarded, and your center's not putting up anything, which means your entire game really relies on the outside. And I don't think that style of basketball wins against the Suns or the Bucks.
I like the Suns. I think the Suns are the best team in the league by a mile. Even with this trade, I think it just made them better. There has not been a team that's done more in the offseason than the Phoenix Suns.
That's true.
And not a team that's gotten more valuable pieces than the Phoenix Suns. They probably have the best bench in basketball and arguably the best starting 5.
Which remember saying as soon as the first trade happened that they have no bench depth.
Yeah.
If their starting 5
yeah,
doesn't
they
play
traded
45 minutes a game,
And then they signed everyone.
everybody. Bench is, again, like I said, probably the deepest in the league right now.
So, yeah, it would shock me if the Suns are bad.
Well, they can't be bad. But will they beat the Bucks in the
Yes.
championship? We'll find out, probably 3 shows from now for NBA predictions?
Pretty
Starts,
much. Yeah.
well, no, it's end of October, right?
I think around more like October 15th-ish.
I thought it was end of October too.
Either way, 2 to 4 weeks for official NBA predictions with Shane this time.
It's crazy, man. It doesn't feel like a year since basketball season.
Nah, that's like the quickest turnaround in sports, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because the finals in what? July?
Uh-huh.
June, I thought.
End of June, give or take. Yeah. And the draft and all that. How about some
Well-
college ball talk now?
Pass.
So, big win for Florida State there in overtime at Clemson.
Yep. Big win.
But of
Bama
course-
looked good, finally. Colorado, big loss.
Big loss.
They got brought back down to earth.
By no means a Colorado hater. I
No.
love the hype. But we got ahead of ourselves in sports media, especially. ESPN was all over Dion, and rightfully so for the time being. But we
And
knew they're
he's
going to be
made Colorado like $1 billion already.
absolutely, yeah.
So,
Give him 1-2 years, get his recruiting classes in there, get the guys he wants, build an offensive line would be nice. Yeah, totally walloped by Oregon.
and then Heisman, Caleb Williams,
Second place.
probably not going to win because he doesn't play the whole game.
Doesn't have to. Which, is that a detriment to your Heisman odds?
Probably, but if you go out and win, you're already pretty much locked in as the number 1 draft pick.
Like, he's already got one.
Another Heisman's not going to boost you any higher because you're already as high as you can be.
Yeah, does he really care?
Probably not.
He just wants to stay healthy, get to the end of the year, maybe win a title, get that bag.
Absolutely.
And some smaller stories
All right,
in
that's
college
it.
ball
Let's talk UFC.
over the week. A game that I don't think really anybody watched Saturday night.
Not like 9.9 million watchers or anything.
Didn't hit 10, just a little bit short.
Yep.
I know Shane didn't watch, though.
No, he
I
did
did.
not.
I did.
The whole thing? Shane, you have a mic 2 feet away from you.
I turned it on during the beginning of the second half.
What did you do Saturday while you were so tired and sleepy
Apparently watched college ball.
and all that good stuff?
I did watch some college ball.
Yeah. What'd you do all night? Maybe you had a birthday party
Birthday party.
where you just partied all night, even though you told us you were just going to be hitting the hay at about
Wow, dude.
7:30.
I thought I was going to until my buddy's like, "It's my 21st. You want to come over?"
You know,
I was like,
after the emotional topics we got into on the anniversary show.
You don't have to lie to us.
I thought we all bonded. I thought we had a better connection than that. And then to lie to our faces on air, especially.
I genuinely thought that I was going to go to sleep.
Shane, come on, you can be honest now, dude.
I'm being so honest.
Look, who just calls up their buddy? Oh, I forgot I'm turning 21 tomorrow. You want to come?
I
hang out?
No,
forgot.
right now.
No,
Right, even worse.
I forgot that he was turning 21.
So you're a bad friend and multiple
am.
fronts.
I am.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow, dude.
But we did give him a good 21st, that's for sure.
Wow.
That's
Said it wrong,
awesome.
you know, didn't I? That's
Hopefully you don't lie to them like you lie to us.
cool. I think you told them, they're like, hey, man, Tuesday night or Wednesday night, want to come hang out, have a few brews, play some UFC 3 or 5
I'm
now.
gonna be tired.
It's like, yeah, I'll be in bed, dude. I had PT all day. Nope, he's doing a podcast at midnight. Man, what a two-faced guy.
All right.
So, Shane, your impression of that second half, at least.
I really didn't think that Ohio State was going to win at all. And then they just magically put together offense, and then that last play was not pretty.
I couldn't even watch, honestly, that last
No.
drive.
Off air, when we end the show, I'll show you guys a conversation I was having with basically myself
What?
during that last final 5 minutes.
I'm
Why don't-
excited to see it.
Why don't you read it on air?
Probably
There's some things that were said that
some
shouldn't
colorful,
have been said.
some colorful language.
Okay.
Either way, Bucks played well the first half. Travion, big touchdown, and then suddenly back-to-back scores. Notre Dame took a big lead. Hope was kind of fading on the road, especially. Then out of nowhere, some magic struck.
No. Marcus Freeman struck.
Well, it could be considered magic in some ways. You think he lost the game there, right?
Every aspect of it is the finger is pointed at him.
Bum of the week? Question mark. Very well could be.
Bum of the year,
Dethroning Zach Wilson.
probably.
Whoa.
The fact that we get the ball back with about 3:30 left in the fourth quarter, and you go 3 empty backfield plays, one makes no sense. We had 86 rushing yards in the third quarter alone, and you go empty backfield.
Even if you get negative yardage on all 3 plays, you're burning clock at least.
Correct,
But chances are you're probably going to move the ball because that's what you've been doing the whole second half.
because Audric Estime is basically Derrick Henry.
Bad dude. Bad. Love that dude.
Okay, so we're over that. Defense playing great. Get you to a 3rd and 19. 10 guys on the field. Obviously, you convert because there's one
Well,
less
yeah,
defender
wonder
on the
why.
field. Okay. Oh, surely that won't happen again. 4th and 1 on the goal line when we've stopped you like 3 times already. 10 guys on the field.
Last play of the game. No time left. This is it.
And he says, couldn't afford to take a penalty. Where were they going to go?
2 inches further.
Like, it's the last play of the game, and they are on the, 5-inch line.
If I'm Coach Freeman, I will
And
run,
I'll tell you
I will
what.
run and punch a ref.
And I'm telling you right now, Travion Henderson barely got that with 10 guys on the field.
Correct.
There's no way he gets it with another end or tackle right there. Because what'd you guys do? Ran to the blocker that wasn't there.
Yeah, poorly executed, to say the least.
And,
to
and
have-
again, for the last play to be that close, poorly executed on you guys when there's still one guy not on the field.
Correct. It should have been running through the tunnel, untouched.
Yes.
But to happen twice in significant plays, you have 10 guys out there. It's on Freeman, yes. But no assistant coach noticed. No players said, yo, dude, a little short out here. And to happen again on the goal line? Fireable offense.
I think it all boils down to you guys should not have even gotten the ball back.
Shouldn't. No, we got a gift, honestly.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have won. Tough fought game. 2 great defenses.
Marcus Freeman said, I played for Ohio State. I'm hoping to take over when Ryan Day gets fired because he can't beat Michigan.
Here's a freebie.
So here's a freebie again.
Playing the long con. Then same thing. I mean, Day had some questionable choices too. All year been saying give Henderson the ball 30 times a game. 14 for 104. Yes, 1 was a 60-yard touchdown, but man, stick with the run game. McCord played decent. Really no bad decisions, but nothing sexy numbers-wise. No big throws.
I could have done what McCord did.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude just threw into PIs every single play.
Yeah. And to be fair, if you're
Every
getting the
play.
calls, they're not adjusting. I mean, keep throwing it, I guess. But
Every play.
not fun to watch.
Every play. And 95% of the ball is uncatchable.
There was at least 3 where I try to be on the fence at least, reasonable as a Buckeye fan, where I was like, dude, that's bad. In Columbus, maybe you get those calls.
And I will say, I don't think they should call pass interference on an underthrown ball. Ever.
I hate seeing that. Yeah.
Ever.
I mean, what's the defender supposed to do?
Ever.
Right? Even if you don't turn your head.
If anything, that's an OPI.
Fighting back to the ball like that, yeah, you're going against the defender's position.
Yeah, if you have to stop in front of me to turn when the ball's thrown,
Don't call it OPI. Call it on the quarterback for being a bum.
exactly.
You know what? You got no arm strength. You're back up 15. Make it 30. Why not? As far as that ball was, that's how far back you go. Harrison got hurt there at the end. Thankfully, nothing too serious. Should be good to go next week. Not quite the game I expected. Not quite that fun. Very
How a
stressful.
top 10 matchup should look.
But overall, defenses both played great. I mean, you can't fault anybody there.
Yeah.
But too many penalties on both sides. Too much poor execution. And at the end of the day, weird coaching stuff. I don't even want to talk about the Ryan Day, Lou Holtz situation. It's so bizarre.
God.
I don't know why.
Ryan Day's not even from Ohio.
I don't know if he's trying to just get the team fired up or the fan base, but say it's Ohio against the world. Dude, it's been a
It's
top
not.
10 program for like
Yeah, it's
80
not.
years.
It's not.
Like, you're not Boise State, man.
No.
Come on. If it works for the team, hey, so be it. But
Was he going to fight a 96-year-old man who was right?
that's the thing. Like, Lou Holtz didn't even say anything that bad.
He said the teams, when Ohio State loses, it's because the other team plays more physical.
And watch the tape, dude.
And guess what? Even Notre Dame played more physical.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to take personal offense to.
I have no idea. I think maybe he's probably knows his job's in jeopardy because he can't beat Michigan. So he wanted to take offense to it.
I would say come end of November, a must-win game for his job. Which is tough to say as good as he's been overall, but at Ohio State, if you can't win that game, sorry, man.
That's the only game.
We're moving on.
And you've lost every big game you've been in, too.
Well, except, Saturday. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
Last year, it's pretty big opening weekend, but,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Pretty small.
Moving forward, though, to this week. A couple good matchups here ranked team-wise. You've got Kansas at Texas, LSU at Ole Miss, Notre Dame going to Duke, bounce-back game. Should win, definitely more talented, but on the road, I guess a pretty good team so far. They're ranked 17th. Notre Dame is a 6-point favorite there. That's your primetime game on ABC. You mentioned the Heisman rankings. Michael Penix Jr. at Washington's taking over the number 1 spot in the odds race, just ahead of Caleb Williams. And then Quinn Ewers, kind of underachieving so far. Still third.
I don't think he looks great.
Yeah,
Like he doesn't look like he did last year.
Hasn't passed the eye test. Against pretty bad team so far, too. I mean, he beat Bama. We'll give him that.
But he's obviously doing good enough to catch somebody's eye.
And it's still so early. The opening odds are going to stay that way for a while at least. UFC-wise, not a whole lot going on. I didn't watch any of that card because of course, the Buckeye game was on.
Yeah, I did not either.
But in the main event, Fazayev broke his foot, kicking Gamrot's elbow.
Tough to see.
So, yeah, I mean, unfortunate there. Pretty, from what I saw, pretty even fight throughout until that point happened. Then you got Bryce Mitchell over Dan Ige. More importantly, though, some big fights announced, including Mr. Paddy Pimblett and Tony Ferguson.
Definitely an interesting matchup.
How do you feel about that from Tony's perspective?
I want to see Tony knock him out and then just call it quits.
Either way, this should be his last fight. I think it will be his last fight.
I hope he
Should
doesn't
be.
go out 0-7.
I don't know.
I don't think it hurts Paddy to lose, which is kind of a win-win on the matchmaking scale. If he loses, hey, it's a legend on his retirement fight. No harm done hype-wise. You can still give him somebody else next time. And then if Tony loses, you can spin it as, hey, well, you lost to the big up-and-comer. No harm done. Just don't get knocked out brutally, which I don't think Tony would. I hope not. Not the Paddy. Yeah,
Oh, man.
It would be nice to see Tony go
Tony
out
might
on-
get teabagged.
Oh, no. Please, no. Tony, we've seen enough bad stuff already from you, man.
I just don't. Could you imagine Patty chokes him out the same way he lost his last fight and he's just flopping?
I hope not.
Oh,
I don't want to think about that.
I don't want to see it.
And that's on the 296 card, I want to say.
I thought it
John
was
Jones and Stipe.
95.
that's
So
95.
Yeah.
then you had Shavkat and Wonder Boy also announced.
Love
which
On
Wonder Boy's getting paid double because he kind of got screwed after his last opponent missed weight.
which is good.
And
Yeah.
nobody else wants to fight Shavkat. They gave it to Wonder Boy. He said, all right, I'll do it. I wish Shavkat would stand and bang, but he should just wrestle him, take an easy win, and continue moving up the title rankings. And then no event this week.
Correct.
No card, nothing going on. Want to hit your final cigar notes here before we close up shop?
Oh, yeah. So, again, I had the Luciano MXS Dominique Wilkins blend. Draw 3.5, pretty tight all the way through. Not too bad. Got pretty solid smoke production all the way through, but pretty tight draw. Flavor was a 4 for me. That kind of like chili spice kind of stayed all the way through and got more prominent. So my first spicier cigar that I can say I've had, where the spices stuck around all the way through. But that dark chocolate kind of lingered. Then a lot of earthy tones throughout. Very good, very dark for sure. The burn, 3.5, kind of got pretty uneven towards the end. Had some weird ashes too. Probably my fault, but appearance 5 out of 5. Beautifully made cigar. And then my personal was a 4. I enjoyed it. Wasn't my favorite to be a 5, but very good. Overall, 20 out of 25.
Solid score there for that limited edition, hard to find Luciano. I, of course, had the Maria Lucia from Luciano as well. Appearance-wise, total 5. Gorgeous box press, seamless wrapper, very well made. No complaints there. Burn a 4, super even. No touch-up besides the 1 during break, which is a given. But draw was a 2. Kind of tight throughout. Yeah, tight throughout. Not a whole lot of smoke production. And that kind of caused it to go out a few times. Which, again, the burn was even, but just no airflow going through there. Even with the draw punch, didn't help out a whole lot. We'll smoke another one. I try not to judge sticks off just 1 or 2. Try to go 3 or 4, make sure it's consistent. But in lieu of that, flavor's a 4. Kind of kept that nice profile throughout. That kind of baking spices, nutmeg, nutty, oaky, a little bit of wood in there. So overall, very enjoyable. And then personal's a 4 as well, for a grand total of 19 out of 25. Get that draw fixed. This could be an absolute banger of a stick, and I assume the next one I smoke will be just that. How about our close, but no cigar, for the first time in quite a while?
The Miami Heat, for thinking they were getting Dame Lillard, and they didn't.
After Pat Riley's initial offer, he never called back, never got back in touch, and next thing you know, you've got no Dame.
Some would say you've got no game,
I wouldn't say it to Pat Riley per se, but I would say he was close.
but no cigar.
My Asher Cash this week, no college. Nothing really stood out to me a whole lot. But did hit last week in the NFL. Let's make it 2 in a row. With Jacksonville -3 in London over Atlanta. Miami +3 on the road in Buffalo. And Seahawks to win in New York Monday night against the Giants. That'll be a $10 bet to win 70 and 60 cents. Last but not least, the second week in a row in 2023, our bums of the week.
Our bums of the week.
Starting off with, do you get the ref's name?
Not yet, but I will have it when we post it. The ref who completely just is blind and called Amari Cooper out of bounds on a 60-yard touchdown when he wasn't even close.
Legit one of the worst calls I've seen.
Pretty much a yard away from the out-of-bounds line. Don't really know how that even
And like
happened.
the ref was right there too.
Yeah, he was right next to him.
It's not like he's 30 yards downfield running to make sure he sees the
No.
play. Like the guy's right there,
He was just standing there, too.
looking at the spot.
Yeah,
Pretty bummy.
I don't know. Honestly, I think he accidentally blew his whistle.
You can like correct that, right?
I don't think so. Not when you call a play dead.
No, at that point, it's also a pride thing. Like,
They
you
have an
just go
inadvertent whistle. Like I've heard that before, right?
Like, oh, my bad.
Did Coop run the play out?
Yeah.
So yeah, just say, hey, inadvertent whistle, Play stands. Did a defender stop?
Coop and the defender both turned around and looked at the ref when he called him dead, and then just continued.
And of course, no retaliation.
Absolutely not.
No reprimand. No fine. Because refs are untouchable. But our second bum.
Your Redlegs.
9-0 lead in a must-win game against the Pirates. And they lose 13-12. Epic collapse. Definitely going to miss the playoffs now. I think they actually, let me check their score tonight, which would be an official knocking them out of the playoffs. They did indeed lose 4-3, so I believe the dream is over for this year. But hey, great year throughout. We'll talk more on that next week when we get into baseball postseason talk and everything in that regard. Third up, maybe worst coach in the league.
Josh McDaniels.
Doesn't know basic math.
No.
Or basic coaching strategy.
Or anything. Time management, coaching strategy, math, anything. Probably doesn't even have a high school degree.
But he can fleece the Raiders for that contract.
Absolutely, and he did.
And last but not least, and for the last but not last team time, if I can speak English, this year, the Denver Broncos.
We are now banning them with Zach Wilson from Bumps of the Week.
When you're bad enough for the other coach to go and let fans call plays,
Allegedly.
there's pictures.
Could be Madden. Could be AI.
I would believe it. If you're up,
I wouldn't.
If you're up 50 points,
Even an NFL coach is letting a fan call plays.
He'd be the one.
It's not just an NFL coach.
yeah.
It's Mike McDaniel.
It's the coolest guy of all time, honestly.
Yeah.
If there's one that's going to let a guy in the crowd call a play, it's going to be him.
What if the fan called for the field goal kick at the end? And he just, vetoed it, said, no, we're not kicking? Go for the record, dude. Who won last week, by the way?
Oh, my God. We had the Broncos last week, too.
Well, I know, but that's why I said we got to ban him from now. It's just too bad.
I believe it was Colorado State.
Ooh, that was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Like 119 yards of penalties and just personal fouls. So, as always, go vote on that in Insta. Shane, let's go ahead and wrap up shop.
All right. Make sure to follow us at Sports and Stogies on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, or X, TikTok, all places you listen to podcasts, which is Spotify, Apple Music, Google, which is going to be YouTube Music, and Amazon. And with that, boys,
One last thing. Next time you guys hear us, Cam will be a married man on his honeymoon, and me and Shane will be here by ourselves.
Yes, sir.
Now take it away.
As we like to say around here, SnS.
To
the moon!